and the risk of stagflation, high inflation combined with sluggish growth. At a Senate hearing on domestic terrorism, Texas Republican Ted Cruz says white supremacy is evil, but that Democrats in Congress use it as a weapon.
They try to use that as a proxy for attacking a political party they disagree with.
University of Chicago professor Dr. Robert Pape says the U.S. has an obligation.
And it's our political leaders, it's our community leaders, it's our university leaders. It's not just one side, and it's not simply a law enforcement problem.
He says a national conversation is needed about dangerous rhetoric. An American woman who led an all-female battalion of ISIS militants in Syria pleads guilty to providing material support to a terrorist organization. Allison Fluke-Ekron appearing in federal court in Virginia today, now facing up to 20 years in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon on this Tuesday. Weather-wise, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Think a dry afternoon, though I can't rule out a spot thunder shower. Tough to find. 82 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower, a thunder shower. Late night, 65. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. A couple of scattered showers and thunder showers. Lots of dry time, though. Wednesday, 80. Thursday, sunny and dry, 80 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
Spare me the bull about constitutional rights.
The gentleman
no, I will not yield, and I'm not going to yield for my entire 5 minutes, so don't ask again.
The Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute.
We, as a whole of government approach, have been working on this since the recall, which was in February.
Do something is not a serious policy, but the actual policies that he listed are extremely troubling.
97.1 FM Talk.
This is Judge Mike Carter. As the judge of Wentzville and an attorney, I've had the honor of working with Lincoln County Prosecutor Mike Wood and St. Charles Prosecutor Tim Lomar. We all share a great respect for the rule of law and keeping our families and communities safe. As your next Republican state senator, I'll oppose those who want to defund and tie the hands of our police. I'll protect our Second Amendment rights and see that strong laws are in place to dissuade those who think they can come here to break into your car or home. I'm Mike Carter, and I want to earn your vote to be your Republican state senator. This is Judge Mike Carter, Republican candidate for the new 10th District State Senate seat. I believe strongly, as I know you do, in safeguarding our personal freedoms and securing our rights as guaranteed under the Constitution. I'll put my knowledge and experience to work for you, protecting those rights, opposing tax hikes, keeping families safe by opposing those who want to defund the police, making small businesses and family farms a priority, and safeguarding our Second Amendment. I'm Mike Carter, and I hope to earn your vote to be your next Republican state senator. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. Paid for by me, Mike Carter.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. SidingExpress.com.
Nature Valley has helped restore access to 10,000 miles of national park trails and counting because everyone deserves to experience what's out there. Head over to your local park to see for yourself. Nature Valley. Life happens out there.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules. You can ask your smart speaker to play 97.1 FM Talk. and stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community. It's all through the new Odyssey app. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy that you are here with us today. Brad, I see you have this sound on here. I'm going to play it here in a second. But the Tampa Bay Rays have, well, it's June. So Pride Month is everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Hold on a second. I got to spin my microphone all the way around. The cord was holding up the microphone, and I was going to have to hold the microphone that way for the entire segment. That's ridiculous. The Tampa Bay Rays, like everybody else, are acknowledging and celebrating Pride Month. And there are, is it 5 players or 6 players in the Tampa Bay Rays who elected not to wear a patch on their jersey that acknowledged the fact that it was Pride Month. Do you know if every team is doing this or if this is something that Tampa Bay decided to do?
As far as I can tell, it's just Tampa Bay right now, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it's a league-wide thing. I think as like it didn't come down from Major League Baseball. This is something that individual organizations are choosing to do or choosing not to do.
I'm sure there's an MLB edict that says Pride Month is June. Do something.
Yeah.
And then I truly don't believe that you can take something like that and tell 30 different cities, here's what you are going to do in your city.
Right.
I mean, Major League Baseball is a wee bit interested in making money.
Yes.
And you're probably hearing this thinking that I'm saying that there are places who wouldn't want to celebrate Pride Month. What I'm saying is there are places who are going to want to celebrate it way more
aggressively.
And San Francisco would be one of those places. And they have a hat that has the S and the F in the rainbow. Haven't seen the Cardinals do that.
No, Tampa Bay's hats were doing that as well. So
too?
they had the patch and then the hat with the rainbow, or not even the rainbow anymore, but it's the pride flag, which is different than
more than the rainbow.
Yeah.
Okay, can't keep up with it. Whatever. This is something that is out there that is acknowledging people and celebrating them for who they are. Black History Month is the same way. They do things to acknowledge Black History Month, not really in Major League Baseball because it's in February, but March, Women's Month. You know, it's still, side note, put a pin in what we're just talking about here. Walk over to this sidebar here with me for a second. I always find it ironic that for Mother's Day, they all use everything pink in today's culture. Like, I mean, personally, I'm not really a huge fan of pink. I'm a heterosexual cis woman. Birthing person. Mother's Day. It's ironic to me that for marketing purposes, everything goes pink.
Right.
When I have to tame myself down a little bit, because if my girls are like, if they want to have a Cardinals hat, and if they're like, Mom, I want to get a Cardinals hat. I like that pink one. I'm like, wear a red one. The Cardinals hat is red. Some of them are navy.
Yeah.
Navy or red.
Yeah.
That's what the Cardinals hat is. I don't like and I get it. I know this is me. I'm not telling anybody else what to do. If you love your pink Cardinals hat, wear it with pride. Wear a red Cardinals hat, daughter of mine. I get to be in charge of you. I will buy it for you. And I say this, and I have a like Cardinals hat that has like roses on it or something silly. So I'm a hypocrite. But we still, in this day and age, are okay with setting aside the dangerous normatives that exist for Mother's Day because it's pink and we can sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm? On Mother's Day, which is supposed to be Birthing Person's Day, I think. I don't know. I can't keep up. Tampa Bay elected to put patches on the uniforms to celebrate Pride Month. And if you know what I've observed, at least here in St. Louis, about how it's being recognized, they acknowledge it. They're having a Pride Night. The Cardinals are participating in welcoming people of any lifestyle to the stadium, which is good. It's strange to me that we and I say these things, and in my head I can already hear what someone is counterpointing me, and I want to answer the counterpoint before I make my first point. So let me make my first point. It's strange to me that in 2022 we have to remind everybody that this group of people are welcome here. And if I were on the other side of that issue, I would say, that's right, Annie. You do need to understand that people are not made to feel welcome when they come here. Well, I hate that. And I don't go to a baseball game to look around me and profile everybody who's sitting and watching the Cardinals game next to me. You know, I'm more offended by the loud popcorn eaters that sit like right next to me in the super close than I am ever considering anything that has to do with the walk and the lifestyle of my fellow Cardinals fan, who I will gladly high five when Albert Pujols hits a home run.
Or any Cardinal.
Yes.
But mainly Albert Pujols.
I mean, yeah. It's total fangirl moment.
Yeah.
If that happens. So we're celebrating it. I understand it. I understand why it's happening. But going back to what I said yesterday, this all comes down to what? Cash money. It is another opportunity to sell tickets and to sell merchandise. You know, like, let's pick on teachers, our favorite small interest group to pick on, since we're all in this show married to teachers. You have a teacher night, and I said this to my husband. Their teacher night is a really nice handbag that I would like to have. And I'm like, Jared, you better go to teacher night and get that nice handbag. I'm like, what about the dude teachers? What do they get? What is a dude teacher? I mean, you could carry school supplies in this bag, but my husband is not carrying that bag.
Right.
He could carry it to me and give it to me. I'd take it. My point being, there are these complications everywhere. Major League Baseball has marginalized my male teacher husband by suggesting that because he's a teacher, he should want a handbag. I mean, could I go on that warpath? Yes, if I had the time and the inclination, but I don't, because that would be dumb.
Yeah.
People could be offended everywhere, all the time, about everything. But meanwhile, we all have our own thoughts and opinions on all of these issues. And we don't speak them, because when we speak up about them, we get called out, we get hung out to dry by a mob mentality, which is pretty much faceless on the internet, through a group of people who might be able to push this narrative into the news. And this happened in Tampa Bay. 5 players came out and said, we are choosing not to wear the patch on our sleeve. We don't hate any of these people. We feel very strongly that people should be treated equally everywhere. But they said, due to our Christian faith, there's a conflict here, and we're choosing our faith. Now, if you're going to elect to do that, and you're going to share that opinion you have on that issue, brace for impact. You are open to criticism. People who are out there criticizing these baseball players for choosing not to wear these patches, you have a right to do that. And the people who are celebrating these individuals' decisions to not wear that patch have the right to give them accolades for standing up for what they believe. But hate is only permitted one way in our culture. there is one side that is permitted and encouraged to be as vocal as possible about the hate. So you're telling me that there is a small group of people playing baseball for the Tampa Bay Rays who claim, as only they would have the right to do about their own personal faith and beliefs, that wearing a pride patch on their sleeve is a conflict to their personal religious faith, which happens to be Christian. If there was a player on the Tampa Bay Rays who was a practicing Muslim, would the pride patch be in conflict with their faith, Pastor?
Absolutely.
Would we be allowed to criticize that baseball player who happens to be a practicing Muslim's faith in today's culture for choosing not to wear that patch?
Boy, that's a tough one.
I don't think we do.
Mm-mm.
You know what happens? A handful of people don't wear the patch. Nobody ever talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody goes on with their day.
Mm-hmm.
There is a protected class of people in our society today, and there is a target group of people in our society today. And these players from the Tampa Bay Rays spoke up and they said, this is what we believe. Doesn't that matter anymore? Like what somebody's own personal, most intimate religious beliefs and faith, doesn't that mean anything anymore? And I would say today it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't today is because there haven't been more Tampa Bay Rays baseball players who have been willing to stand up and say, I don't hate anybody. I treat the people around me the same. I don't look at these people and think that I'm better than them. I can't support that lifestyle due to a conflict with my faith, and I'm willing to speak on it, and I'm willing to take what comes next. That is biblical.
Mm-hmm.
That is not new in the context of all of history, to speak up and stand up for your faith and to be ridiculed for it. In fact, in some cases, if you're speaking up and standing up for your faith and you're not being ridiculed for it, you need to speak up louder.
Mm-hmm.
Because our society today is not set up in a way that is designed to be like arms wide open, welcoming to people who have Christian beliefs. And to my point earlier, we treat different religions differently, not because we respect the religions. It's because there's a hierarchy of who is able to be criticized and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're somebody who is completely atheistic, agnostic, somebody who knows in your heart and in your head that there is no God and that this is it. Your willingness to stand up and speak on that belief is the same right that a Tampa Bay Ray baseball player has to stand up and speak on their beliefs. And in America, when you have a First Amendment right, which is made for exactly this kind of situation, to be able to stand up and say something that's not popular and that isn't going to be widely accepted, and that when you stand up and say said thing, you might have no support. But if it's what's in your heart and you want to go out there and say it, that Christian needs to stand by that atheist's right to speak on those issues, and the atheist needs to stand next to that Christian's right to speak on those issues. And if pride is about loving each other in our humanity and treating each other with kindness, I can tell you a whole host of lifestyles that my Christian faith would not approve of that have nothing to do with anything in the LGBTQIA plus world. There's a whole host of things that go on the heterosexual world that are in conflict with my Christian faith. And to speak the truth on that, any heterosexual person who is obviously sinful has broken that commandment. In Tampa Bay, which this is, I don't know how far this is going to resonate. There have been St. Louis Cardinal who has commented on this, and I don't really want to get into that because I don't even want to throw gasoline on that fire. When people speak up and criticize what's going on in Tampa Bay, it is their right to do so. It's okay. Don't get bent out of shape when those people speak up on a particular issue and tell you where they stand. We need more people speaking up without fear of cancellation and without fear of the mob to tell us where they stand, because you are still free to make the judgment that follows based on the position that they ascertain. We have that right. And in the midst of all of these opinions being spewed everywhere on social media all the time, they don't ever stop. Still, so many of us sit back and you watch the train wreck. It's an unending slow motion train wreck. And you sit back and you put your hand on your chin and you just wonder how we got here. It's because one side has had such a massive share of the stage and of the spotlight, and they have successfully pushed another side out from being part of the conversation. Not from being publicly right on every issue, and by right, I mean correct on every issue. Not from being able to stand up and win every argument, to even participate in the conversation. That is lost in this moment. And for these Tampa Bay players to step up and do what they did, they're starting that process that we should all observe, and we should just watch how the conversation happens next. Pay attention how the conversation happens next, and then realize the next time you're in a position to speak on your own thoughts and beliefs that it is strengthening discussion, conversation that happens between real people, you and your neighbor, you and your little league ball team mom or dad that you sit next to on the bleachers every time, you and the people you go to church with or play bingo with on Monday nights at the Legion with. Those conversations are going to steer America back in the right direction. No slick, polished politician is going to come in and save the day by implementing all of the policies that they're promising that they're going to do. That's not going to happen. We have to participate in the conversation kindly and frequently so that people can see where we stand and no longer know that we will sit idly by, scared to be called a name. Folks, they're calling you names anyway. You might as well stand up and own it. You might as well stand up and own who you are and make sure that if they want to call you names, that they're calling you those things because they know who you are and they've still determined that that's the path they want to take. But you at least need to speak your words on those issues. I'm very glad that the Tampa Bay Rays, personally, I'm glad that they stood up and said what they said, and that the organization, they said that they talked about it amongst the team.
Yeah.
It was understood among the team. This is what these guys are going to do. This is what those guys are going to do.
Yeah, and they had that conversation in the locker room as a team, and whenever the conversation was done, this is how it ended.
And they were okay with it.
Yeah.
A good example.
Like adult stuff.
People, you got 9 guys on a field. Some of them are wearing pride patches. Some of them aren't, and they're playing together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
America, take note.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a quick break. Real quick on the Anti-Frey YouTube live chat poll today. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Yes or no? Anti-Frey YouTube channel. Just go there and you'll see that we are streaming live. Click on it, and in the live chat section, you will see the poll. Just vote, and if you'd like to leave a comment, Hannah would love to flag it so that we can talk about it at the end of the show. Stick around. More Anti-Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. 97.1 FM Talk. Uncensored discussion that's free in more ways than one. This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk, right here, right now.
Might be a great time for you to cash out on that mortgage that you have right now while the equity in your home is high. Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage can help you get the cash you need to pay down that high interest debt where the interest is going to go up and up and up as the Fed continues to raise rates. Stewie will compete and beat your locked in rate. Reach out to him today and tell him what your situation is. Tell him, I'm trying to pay down this debt, or I really need to replace this, that, and the other appliance in my house, and I need some cash, and I need the cash right now. How can you help me? He's going to talk to you about the bagel loan. He's going to talk to you about how the bagel loan has no fees that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. And he's going to explain to you how when you work with the bagel loan and you work with Stewart's American Mortgage, you are going to have the fastest close available. Reach out to Stewie today. Call him or text him and mention the Annie Frey Show when you do it. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. That's a direct line to Stewie. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information. NMLS number 226715.
School is out for summer. Let's celebrate at the ballpark with Teachers Night on Monday, June 13th and Tuesday, June 14th. With the purchase of a special theme ticket, teachers will take home an exclusive Cardinals neoprene tote bag. And as a special treat, you'll receive a drink coupon for your first drink of the summer on us. For more information or to purchase, visit cardinals.com/theme.
Star Wars Night, presented by Topps Trading Card Company, returns to the ballpark on Wednesday, June 15th. With the purchase of a special themed ticket, fans will take home an exclusive Star Wars-themed baseball tee. Characters from the 501st Legion will be on hand for photo ops, and a portion of the proceeds from each ticket sold will be donated to Stand Up to Cancer. Get your Star Wars Night tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800. windowworld.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I'm a martial artist, a pilot, mountain biker, hiker. The thing that brings me down is my feet. When my wife finally talked me into going into the Good Feet store, the salesperson there immediately started investing himself in my problem. This is not something that you could solve online. There's got to be somebody there that can help you find that fit. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the clouds go away and it's a good life. I wear them all the time. Good Feet has saved the day.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerberg's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out till we grow.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
You got me, baby, I got you. I got
So
you.
basically, I took the best Republican positions on the generic congressional ballot at this point in midterm cycles since 1938. That generic ballot basically is, would you vote for the generic Republican or generic Democrat in your district? And guess what? Since 1938, the Republican 2-point lead on the generic congressional ballot is the best position for Republicans at this point in any midterm cycle in over 80 years. It beats 2010 when Republicans were up a point. It beats 14, 2002, 1998, where Democrats led by a point. And in all of those 4 prior examples that make this list of the top 5, look at that. Who won a majority? It was the Republicans who won a majority.
Is that red wave coming in November? It sounds like it's coming in a historical fashion. And, I'm curious. I was listening to Fox earlier today, and they were talking about there's like murmurs and discussions. Or how are we going to replace Joe Biden in this coming election? People talking about who they're going to replace it. The Hill did an article on the 5 Democrats most likely to win the party nod if Biden doesn't run. You want to try to guess who they are?
Yes, let's try this.
All right.
So is Mayor Pete on there?
Yes, he's number 2.
Okay. Kamala Harris.
Number 1.
Let's see here. I'm running out of ideas and names.
So are the Democrats.
Yeah. Michelle Obama, is she on that list?
She's not.
Ooh, that's good news. Let's see. There's somebody that I'm struggling for a name.
The other three were all in the primary last year.
They were all in the
whatever.
primary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Number 4.
Oh gosh, that'd be a disaster.
Define disaster? Everything is relative right now.
Yeah,
he might be effective.
Look, you can't put a Democratic socialist in the White House. I'm sorry.
You can't after you fundamentally transform the United States of America.
Yeah,
but
you can't do that either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that you fundamentally transform the United States without a lot more turmoil than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah. The other 2 are women.
Okay. What's her name from Minnesota?
Amy Klobuchar.
Klobuchar.
Number 5.
And
number 3.
Oh, it wouldn't be what's her name? I can't think of her name. She's New York senator.
No,
not her. Okay. No, I've got nothing now.
You know this one, Elizabeth Warren.
Oh no.
Just because it turns your stomach doesn't mean the party's not going. Yeah, I don't think so.
Somebody, but none of those people. I mean, outside of Bernie Sanders, do any of those? Maybe Mayor Pete have like likability.
So did Joe Biden.
Yeah, but they don't. I'm saying those people don't have likability. Like Joe Biden kind of had it. And then he got in there and has been a complete and utter disaster, which is why people don't like him.
At this point in time, does Bernie Sanders have likability?
I think so.
I think he does. Especially after his mittens.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of charming in his own kind of weird way, which is really even scarier to think that he would have that access to the White House. Frightening.
Yeah.
I don't know why I am so convinced that Michelle Obama is going to be the Democratic nominee. And if Michelle Obama is the Democratic nominee, we better...
all bets are off.
We better step up.
Mm-hmm.
Because she rights a whole bunch of wrongs and would quickly make Democratic voters forget about these 4 years. Very quickly. And the Kamala Harris thing, oh my gosh. Her own party has never liked her.
Mm-mm.
Forget about the other half of the country who cannot stand her. She is no accomplishments. There's nothing that she has offered this administration that has improved the lives of Americans. And she can't speak. I mean, there's no way that she could get, like, can you imagine just the scenario that exists if Donald Trump is running against Kamala Harris? He would eviscerate her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that would go to her benefit. Maybe there'd people who would just detest Trump so much in the way, because he would not be kind to her.
No. But like, I don't think her personality is one that she would try to sit back and take it and play the victim role, which is what would garner her that sympathy. So I don't know that she would even do that. And then her response to his attacks would be equally as like off-putting. I think, I don't like to use the word shrill, but she, like, when I listen to her talk,
she is the definition of cringeworthy.
Man, I feel like I'm being lectured to by a principal.
With words that aren't congruently supposed to be in a sentence.
Right.
Or at least the words and the sentence is okay, but she just needs to stick with saying it one time.
Right.
Not a whole paragraph of them like jumbled up and spoken in all of the different ways you can conjugate a sentence.
Her speeches read like a junior high essay where they're trying to hit their word limit.
I wrote those papers. I wrote those papers for other people. I am curious how you think Joe Biden is faring for the rest of his term. Do you think he makes it?
No, I still don't think he makes it, but they're not going to convince him to step down. I think he's got too much pride for that. I think
Jill has too much pride for that.
Well, that's a possibility as well. But I still think that the pressure of the job is going to be too much for his age, and it's going to affect him medically, and he's going to have a medical event, and not an air quotes a medical event, like a literal medical event.
His health is going to be the determining factor.
Yeah.
It's really sad. If you think about how we got to this point in time, and you think about how President Biden was put to the test as candidate Biden.
Mm-hmm.
He really wasn't.
You can air quote put to the test.
I know. That's like what I'm getting at here. He wasn't field tested. And you can say, and he was in the Senate for 100 years or whatever, but he was not there when he was in his mid to late 70s.
Right.
And every interview, every appearance that he did was in an incredibly friendly environment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was COVID proofed. So there was such a limited amount of people who were there in a limited capacity. He was not challenged. And I mean, whoever contrived this strategy, I applaud you because you won on it.
Mm-hmm.
You took the temperature of the country and realized that Donald Trump was so unpopular with a contingent of people, equally so incredibly popular with another group of people. It doesn't matter who the Democrats run. Trump's got his people.
Mm-hmm.
And I will remind you, he got 8 million more votes the second time around?
More the second time.
He won the election against Hillary Clinton. This is how unlikable Hillary Clinton is. He won against her because people voted for Trump. Republicans are going to vote for Trump, but there are people who voted for Trump because they just detested Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump went through 4 years of lies and smears and 24 hours, 7 day a week, 365 days a year, personal attacks on himself, on his character, on his family, on his administration. And he got 8 million more votes.
Unbelievable.
It is.
It's job performance though, right?
It has to be.
Like
I have Democratic friends who are near and dear to me who would say, I can't stand Trump, but I'm liking my 401k right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, your 401k, you had low gas prices, jobs were good, wages were good. It wasn't bad times. I mean, it wasn't bad times until COVID. And then even with COVID, it wasn't so much that it was bad times as it was uncertain times and scary times, And frankly, we're probably in a better position now because of what he did and where our economy was going into COVID than we would have been had Hillary Clinton won, because our economy wouldn't have been doing as well and wouldn't have been able to absorb the impact that we took.
I have to wonder who Kamala Harris would pick for VP should she have to step into that role. I don't think that I think people would think that she would pick Pete Buttigieg, but I don't think she wants him hot on her tail.
No, because he's way more likable than she is.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But who's less likable?
Then Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
I don't. That's a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
So to speak. Let us know what your thoughts are. Do you think that the president is going to make it through the rest of his term? Will he make it to 2024? 2025, actually, he'd be president into January 2025. And who you think might be the person who would be the correct challenger for Donald Trump or whomever the Republican Party nominates in that election. Every week that goes by, we do these polls every day on the YouTube live chat, and every week that goes by, I think it's a new, fresh poll to say, do you think the president's going to make it through his term? Because every week that goes by, there's another heap of trouble that the administration is in. Constant, nonstop disarray. Lack of communication, miscommunication, new crises coming through the door on a regular basis that are facing everyday Americans who can't stand politics, who are not interested in anything that's going on in the White House, who don't want to dip their toe at all in, Fox News or CNN. They don't want to be anywhere around it because they're allergic to it. But they're looking around their lives right now and they're going, this is not good. Is this going to keep going in this direction? And you look at the administration, they don't have answers for anything other than buy an electric car, use solar panels. It's absolutely the epitome of never let a crisis go to waste. And they're using it so boldly and brashly that it does feel contrived.
Yeah. The way that they're going about it, it makes I am not a conspiracy theorist, but it almost leads you to believe that maybe they're doing this sort of thing on purpose. I'm not saying that they are, but you can see how somebody could look at this and go, man, maybe they're trying
It's either incompetence or it's the plan.
Right. And I'm of the mindset, never attribute to maliciousness what can be easily attributed to incompetence.
Yeah.
And I'm still of the mindset that this is incompetence.
You kind of, as an American, want it to be incompetence, because if he were to be removed from that position and they know exactly what they're doing, to have someone come in who would be effective in a way that this administration isn't to getting those policies put through.
Yeah.
I had that would be way worse. All right, we're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner on the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Vote yes or no right there on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And a reminder, if you're out to lunch right now, don't forget to download that Odyssey app and take us with you anywhere you go on the Odyssey app. Just find 97.1 FM Talk, favorite the station, and listen to us any time of the day that you like. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
I got you, baby.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
I got you to wear my ring.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
My son-in-law had no idea what it meant to be Rickrolled.
So you did it to him.
So we did it to him.
It was at Enterprise Center.
He was part of that too.
Yes. He actually sang the song twice.
If you got to play the same song twice in a concert, you're short on material.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
So the Closet Factory has been to my home, and they've helped us have a custom storage solution designed and built around our family. What the Closet Factory does for you when they come to your house can be entirely different than what they did for us, most likely, because they come in and they measure your space and they put out an entire plan together where they show you, this is what we think we can do for you. I've told this story before, but when they came in to do our master closet, my husband and I share our master closet. They measured out the space for the length of his pants. And do you want to hang them tall, or do you want to hang them over a hanger? How do you want to put them in there? We hang them over a hanger, and then they get the space perfectly designed for him to hang his pants. My dresses, they did the same thing. They'll come in and provide you different options, different finishes, depending on how luxurious you want it to look at the end. If it's going to be something that's front facing to guests that come over your house, or if you just want something that provides you maximum function for your home. The Closet Factory is there to solve these problems. You can give them a call and set up a free consultation at 314-961-4300. That's 314-961-4300. Give them a call and mention the Annie Frey Show when you do. You can find them online at closetfactory.com.
This is Judge Mike Carter. I'm running for state senator here in Lincoln and St. Charles County. You may not know, I also run the Cowboy Judge Show on ABC on the weekends. You can go to MikeCarter.com and actually check out all the episodes. Like recently we had Mark McCloskey, that pink-shirted guy in his front yard waving his gun around with his wife while the folks paraded by. I happen to be a big Second Amendment supporter myself. That was a lot of fun. And we recently had Jay Ashcroft on, our Secretary of State. He's got a name that's been in Missouri politics for a very long time. Go to MikeCarter.com and check it out. I'm Mike Carter, and I've spent a lot of time in the state capitol, not as an elected official or paid lobbyist, but on my own time to urge elected officials to stop cities using red light cameras to rip off drivers. I'm the only candidate who knows what it's like to try to get the attention of elected officials when you don't come with armloads of cash. I've seen a Missouri legislator sitting in his office as his aide shut the door and said he wasn't in. I'm Judge Mike Carter, Republican for State Senate in District 10, and my door will always be open to you. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more, paid for by Team Mike Carter, Mike Carter Treasurer.
Here's what happened in Richard Irvin's Aurora in the summer of 2020.
Police say 3 of the vehicles were set on fire and destroyed. Shots were fired at police twice. People hurled bricks, glass, and rocks at officers. Police blame protesters for at least 2 fires in the city.
This is what Richard Irvin later said about the rioting and looting and violence in his town.
You know, my downtown just on fire, people running around destroying things. You know, I was conflicted. In one sense, I'm the mayor, and I'm saying this can't happen in my city. On the other hand, I recognize that unless there's some type of disruption in what we want here in our country, things won't change.
Richard Irvin calls violence and looting a legitimate disruption. This is what happens when you put someone who calls himself a strong and passionate supporter of Black Lives Matter in charge. Don't let Richard Irvin let Illinois burn like he did Aurora. Join Illinois conservatives in voting no to violence and lawlessness by voting no on Richard Irvin. Paid for by people who play with the rules back.
2022 is zipping by quickly, and if you haven't taken care of that big exterior painting job for your home or business, CertaPro Painters can help. I've depended on CertaPro for all my painting needs for more than a decade now. They talk about something called the power of pro. That's the power of timeliness, the power of doing it right, the power of minimal disruption. They work to make sure it's a smooth project from start to finish. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, the power of pro. Check out CertaPro.com today.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
We put together 2 years ago a plan that the General Assembly passed with bipartisan support to consolidate those police and fire pension plans. What does that do? It alleviates the pressure, the upward pressure on property tax caused by increasing pension burdens across the state. Already, we've seen tens of millions of dollars of relief that's come from that in the fire pensions, and we expect that we will see that for police pensions coming over the next 2 years.
So at least you know that the governor of the state of Illinois knows that property tax relief is something that needs to be talked about and engaged. That was April 20th that the governor made that statement. I'm going to bring our guest on here. Justin Carlson joins us. He's a policy analyst with the Illinois Policy Institute, online at illinoispolicy.org. Justin, welcome to the Annie Frey Show. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So tell me about, some of the causes. Illinois taxpaying residents know that everywhere they turn, there are taxes that are out the wazoo. But property taxes, those amount to be among the worst.
Yeah, property taxes are a huge problem in Illinois. Consistently, Illinois ranks as having among the highest property taxes. I believe they're the highest in the nation, the second highest in the nation right now currently, but they're chronically high. They're always high, and it really places a huge burden on homeowners, taxpayers, everyone. And one of the major reasons for its chronically high property taxes is the fact that Illinois has more units of government than anywhere else in the country. And it's not even close. It's by very many units, over 6,000 units of government. That's all levels, counties, cities, cities, townships, villages, everything, down to library districts and mosquito abatement districts and everything. So that's 6,000 units in Illinois, and states like Missouri. I know some of your listeners are in Missouri, obviously. Missouri has just over half of that amount. So that kind of puts it in perspective. Missouri is far more in line with what is typical than Illinois is.
Justin, when I'm looking comparatively here, since we're on the Mississippi River and we're about 50-50 Missouri, Illinois, and I see the things that Missouri is doing, and then I look at the things that Illinois is doing, and regardless of where anybody's politics lie, economically speaking, comparing these two states, it is a lot easier to be a tax-paying resident in the state of Missouri than it is the state of Illinois. And for somebody like me, I could move 22 miles or 22 minutes, I should say, west. And all of that tax burden in the state of Illinois is gone for me. It's somebody else's problem, and it compounds with each person who gets a U-Haul and moves. What is the state of Illinois doing to be competitive with these states?
Yeah, that's a great point, and taxation is becoming a bigger problem now that the economy is more mobile than ever. Workers and businesses are more mobile than ever. They're not confined to the states necessarily where they originated, and there's a lot more ability for people to pick and choose where to live and where to work, where to start a business. So states are using their tax systems to compete against one another more than they ever have. And unfortunately for Illinoisans, Illinois is a day late and a dollar short on that game as well. As everywhere else in the Midwest, every other state is undertaking a lot of tax reforms, income tax reforms, corporate tax reforms to make their systems more competitive to attract businesses, to attract new residents, something that Illinois has struggled mightily with in recent years and decades, really, losing population, losing businesses, losing economic opportunities. Just to put it in perspective, the Tax Foundation puts out a list of the annual business tax climate for every state, and Illinois right now ranks 36th. They've lost 10 positions on that index since 2017. So in 5 years, they've slid 10 positions on that index, and they're the only state in the Midwest to decline on that index. For perspective for your listeners, Missouri, it currently ranks 13th. So they're doing much better than Illinois, and getting to that point that you were making, that states are much cheaper to live in. They're much cheaper to start a business in, much more attractive to residents and businesses. Missouri certainly has a big advantage over Illinois.
We're speaking with Justin Carlson, a policy analyst with the Illinois Policy Institute. I'm reading this article here on illinoispolicy.org saying Illinois has 6,032 local governments. It's the most, like you said, in the nation by a wide margin, but that also includes 859 school districts. What is the practical solution to consolidating some of these units of government that would give that property tax relief to Illinoisans?
Well, we've supported and do support an initiative called the Citizens Empowerment Act, which listeners can read about online, and is part of this study that we've been doing about how many units of government there are in the state. And the Citizens Empowerment Act would basically give the power to the people locally to initiate a ballot referendum to consolidate local units of government. So it would put that ability in the hands of local taxpayers local residents, local voters, to determine how much or how little government they have locally. And it's a common sense measure. It's something that would really help. There are 17 coterminous townships in Illinois right now. So that means there are 17 townships right now that share the exact same borders as another municipal government, a city, a town, or a village. So right there, you have 17 opportunities to eliminate a township government and bring some property tax relief, because all of these local units of government don't exist in a vacuum. They require money to operate, and that money comes to them in the form of property taxes. And that's a major driver of why property taxes are so high in the state of Illinois.
Well, we're going to check out IllinoisPolicy.org to find out that plan, because that's why we love Illinois Policy. You offer solutions. Justin Carlson, a policy analyst with the Illinois Policy Institute, thank you so much for the time today. We're really appreciative of it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll do it again soon. IllinoisPolicy.org for more information. Jim Carafano after the turn. Don't go away.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
I'm Mike Carter. There are a lot of politicians in Washington who will never get it about the hardworking people of Missouri, that we love our country and our flag. Family, faith, and freedom are worth preserving. Those who come to our country should do so legally. Parents have a voice in their children's education. Police officers are the good guys. And we're not giving up our guns. If that offends the media, too bad. I'm Judge Mike Carter, Republican candidate for state senator in the 10th District. Go to MikeCarter.com to learn more. This is Judge Mike Carter. I'm running for Senate here in Lincoln and St. Charles County. What you may not know is I run the Cowboy Judge Show on ABC on the weekends. You can actually check out all the episodes at MikeCarter.com, and you might see Mike Wood, Lincoln County prosecutor, Tim Lomar, St. Charles County prosecutor. We actually talk a little bit about Pam Hupp and the things that they have to do on a regular basis to keep us safe in our communities in Lincoln and St. Charles County. The Cowboy Judge Show on ABC on the weekends. Go to MikeCarter.com and check it out. Paid for by me, Mike Carter.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494, or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
A call for urgency and action. Elisa Brady, Fox News. The White House facing pressure from some Democrats to do more to fight inflation.
We need to up the urgency and the boldness. I mean, that's not sugarcoated. People are upset with gas prices. They're upset with food prices. They're upset with the baby formula shortage. I think Secretary Yellen's instincts are right, but 1 million isn't enough.
California Congressman Ro Khanna telling Fox News a bigger release from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is needed, while Republicans urge the administration to encourage more domestic oil production with friendlier policies, despite the president's push for a longer-term green energy transition. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen telling a Senate hearing,
"There's no question that inflation is too high and it has to be addressed, but we're starting to do that from a situation of strength."
Rejecting criticism that COVID relief overheated the economy. Gas prices hitting $4.91 a gallon today in AAA's national average. A caravan of thousands of migrants is marching toward the southern U.S. border for a second day, but many shelters and border towns are already full. Fox's Griff Jenkins is in the Rio Grande Valley.
The organizer, Luis Villagran, telling me that they estimate some 3,000 children are in there, 126 pregnant women, and 67 handicapped individuals. They will get shown preferential treatment if they get up to this border. But we talked to one of the business owners here in the McAllen area, named Othel Brand. He was born and raised here, and he says what they're already seeing here year after year, growing, surging numbers. He says what Americans need to know is it's coming beyond the border to their town.
President Biden plans to address migration at this week's Summit of the Americas in L.A., planning to sign a declaration a senior administration official calls unprecedented for the U.S. and regional partners to work together on the migration crisis. America is listening to Fox News.
If you have certain chronic conditions such as
heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52,
36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor
about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon on this Tuesday. Weather-wise, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Think a dry afternoon, though I can't rule out a spot thunder shower. Tough to find. 82 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower, thunder shower. Late night, 65. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. A couple of scattered showers and thunder showers. Lots of dry time, though. Wednesday, 80. Thursday, sunny and dry, 80 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Despite being falsely accused, I'm relieved that justice ultimately prevailed in my case.
Michael Sussman there gloating a little bit, I guess you could say, because he was found not guilty of the same thing that they found General Flynn guilty of.
Weekdays from 5 to 9 a.m.
The network, several of them jumped on this because they could say it was a stinging defeat for John Durham. Well, who's John Durham?
They haven't covered it at all.
On 97.1 FM Talk.
MySlim180.com is the website. If you're interested in losing the COVID weight and let's just say it, getting back to normal, feeling good and being healthy, Slim 180 can help you do all of that. They have 6 locations around the St. Louis area. They're in Sunset Hills, O'Fallon, St. Charles, Creve Coeur, Chesterfield, and Florissant. And when you connect with Slim 180, make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show when you do, because you're going to be able to get a little something for that. When you call My Slim 180 and you talk to them about your problems, they're going to customize a solution for you. You're not just going to do what everybody else there has done. They're going to sit down and talk to you about why is it that you've put on weight, or have you always had the weight on and you're trying to finally lose it. And like I've said before, if you've tried everything else before, but you haven't tried Slim 180, it's worth the shot. It's worth the try for you to go in there and see if you can lose the weight once and for all. I'm up to 19 pounds down since the middle of May. And I am so grateful for my partnership with Slim 180 to help me do that. And I want that for you as well. Reach out to them at myslim180.com.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending.
NMLS 114937.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Fox News has an article on their website, and the headline is DHS Bulletin warns of heightened threat environment, violent months ahead, suggesting that the Homeland Security wants people to know that individuals using high-profile events to justify violence against ideological opponents, public gatherings, schools, and more. Is that the truth? Is that the fact? It very well might be. But in the midst of this, I would also remind Americans that there's a caravan of 15,000 migrants coming through Mexico right now. And the reports are that so far Mexico hasn't done anything to intervene. So buckle up, America. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Following this bumpy ride is our friend Jim Carafano with the Heritage Foundation. They're leading expert in national security and foreign policy at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back to the show. Always lots to talk about with you.
Matt, you are like a red flag in front of a bull. Nothing gets me more worked up than talking about the Department of Homeland Security. As you know, I've been working on Homeland Security issues, since 9/11. I was on the Homeland Security Advisory Council for the department. I wrote the textbook on Homeland Security, and to see how this administration has destroyed the credibility of this department and our ability to trust them between these essentially politicizing domestic threats and absolutely turning the department into the world's leading human trafficker, it's just horrible. And now literally the result of this, so predictable. The result of this is DHS comes out and says, well, we see a threat here. And the first thing we all say is, how can we trust you? And to be honest, we shouldn't.
Yeah. I don't think that there's many places where an average American, even middle America here in St. Louis, can look around and go, I feel pretty safe today. Like I feel better now than I have in years past. There's so many different threats that are coming our way. And the Department of Homeland Security's number one thing they want people like me, who's trying to protect a family with 4 little kids, to know is that white supremacy is lurking.
Right. I mean, essentially, they're cherry picking what what's politically attractive to them, which is completely wrong. And look, when you see the threat profile that we've seen in our own life in the last few months, we've seen none of this, and they are completely oblivious to the transnational terrorist threat, which has actually been growing significantly since Biden withdrew from Afghanistan, and the fact that we've actually had terrorists show up at our southern border, and the fact that our southern border is actually so wide open now. It is the number one terrorist vector in the world for reaching a vulnerable population. I mean, look, this is just malfeasance of the highest order. Look, they have taken your tax dollars that you every year when the IRS says this is how much you owe. They have taken every nickel of that money and they've used it to build the world's largest human trafficking network on the planet. And they've moved millions of people illegally in the United States using your tax dollars to pay NGOs to take them anywhere they want in the country. And these are the people that want you to trust them with your security. And look, here's the lesson. You know, because I was there when they wrote the legislation for the department, and then we worked with Chertoff on restructuring the department. The lesson here is you cannot build government that is people-proof. And the problem is not the structure that you built. You know, people complain about, well, the Patriot Act, whatever else. The problem is who you put in charge of running these things. Because if they run those organizations with political intent, which these guys clearly do, they're going to subvert that organization into what they want. I mean, we literally have devolved into two Americas here. We have one America here has an agenda, and their only thing is how can we use government to push that agenda? And then it's the other guys who are saying, well, what's in the best interest of American people, and let's do that. And this is nonsense that our political parties are framing around these two ideas, between people that want to use government for their political agenda and people who think government ought to actually serve the interests of the American people.
Yeah. Jim Carafano with us right now. At what cost are the Democrats that are in charge right now? I call on them because they're the ones with the power in the federal government at all levels. At what cost are they willing to push through narrative-driven policy for the American people?
Well, the cost is I think they've destroyed the credibility of their political party with everyday Americans. And more sadly, I think they put in jeopardy the legitimacy of the institutions of the United States. I mean, how will we ever get people to trust government again when a political party has weaponized the government against their own people?
Yeah, it's just a massive destabilization of what America is. I would assume here on the home front, but probably I'm assuming also viewed globally with all of the turmoil that's existing across the planet right now. America doesn't seem to be today what it was even 3-4 years ago.
Well, look, what we're doing to ourselves, we are doing to other countries. This administration is actively trying to take down the government of Guatemala, right? Because they're not woke enough. They're actively pushing the same kind of nonsense on gender and climate in other countries that they're pushing here in the United States. So, you know, we talk about globalists, like, you know, it's some big conspiracy theory, but these guys are actually doing this. They've actually taken foreign policy and turned it into a political instrument. You know, we used to say that politics ends at the water's edge. For this president and this administration and this party, foreign policy is an extension of their domestic politics. And that's not in the interest of the American people.
We're speaking with Jim Carafano. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I know the irony here is every good thing that the United States is doing in the world today, whether it's, you know, supporting the self-defense of Ukraine or partnering with the South Koreans to be strong against North, is because other countries are pulling on us to do the right thing. It's not because this administration is instinctively doing the right thing.
It's very difficult to stomach for a lot of people, regardless of how they voted previously. But to look at the world stage right now and not feel confident that America is the leader on that world stage that they have been in the past. We just heard this week that the Biden administration is considering lowering tariffs in China in order to combat inflation on the home front. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that process.
It's a lie. I mean, look, they want to lower tariffs on solar panels, and they want to invoke the Defense Production Act on solar panels. That's a political agenda. First of all, it's going to do nothing to lower the cost of energy, nothing to lower inflation. So it's just a lie to begin with. And second of all, you know who's going to benefit from this in the end? Chinese companies, which are going to increasingly dominate the solar market. And so we're going to be spending more money on less reliable energy, and we're going to subsidize China to do it. That's what this administration is doing. And not because they're, incredibly pro-Chinese or something. They're just so myopically focused on their political agenda and what serves the political agenda that the last question that they ask is, what's actually good for Americans? We actually had a senior official administration admit that they like the idea of high gas prices. And we had a senator saying, look, I have an electric car. What's your problem? And they don't care. They don't care about us. And that's not a political comment, because I'm not a political person. I don't even belong to a political party. I'm just an analyst. And how do you explain what they're doing in other way? Because is it good for the border? Has it solved immigration? Is it good for the economy? Have they done anything good by pushing their agendas other than try to satisfy the political doctrines that they think will help solidify their control of political power?
We're speaking with Jim Carafano, the leading expert in national security and foreign policy at the Heritage Foundation. Among the threats that are being highlighted by the Department of Homeland Security, also the threat that took place on January 6th and the ridiculousness that happened on that day now being put into a primetime hearing of sorts. You're in Washington, D.C. You're there, and you know what it was like then, and you know what it's been like ever since. Is this threat that there could be another insurrection and we need to prevent this from ever happening again? Is that a cause worth investigating? Is there any purpose to this outside of political benefit? Yeah.
No. First of all, I think it's purely politically driven. I don't think there's any question about that. It's going to be a rating disaster, worse than the Oscars. I mean, nobody's going to watch this thing. Nobody's going to care except the obsessively political media. It's going to do nothing. And it completely obscures the reality of what happened. Which, if you look at the polls today, most Americans are much more objective and clear about this, what happened on January 6th, than the Congress that's investigating this. You had a confluence of. There were probably some Yahoo agitators, and who ought to go have their day in court and be tried. And if they broke laws, they should be convicted and sentenced to jail. Yet, a lot of people that just got caught up in this thing and had no idea what was going on. And a lot of them have been unfairly persecuted. And yet a president who probably wasn't in his best day in American leadership, but the notion that somehow he had an organizing insurrection against the U.S. government, there's just no evidence for that.
Wasn't that what the impeachment trial was for? To determine, we actually tried this, didn't we?
Right. And here's the irony here. It's like, if you have to do this year-long investigation, well, what were you impeaching him on? Because in theory, you would have impeached him because you actually had evidence to impeach him. And so if you have to do a year-long investigation, does that mean you were impeaching him without any evidence? Because actually, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Real quick before we let you go, I've got Matt on our Facebook page who's watching us live, and he said, I'm kind of baffled why, after January 6th, you all don't understand why DHS is concerned about domestic terror. Just thought I'd give you an opportunity to respond to that.
Well, look, I mean, the failure at January 6th was very simple. It was a failure of basic public safety. I mean, actually, the most responsible person for the disaster on January 6th is Nancy Pelosi, right? Knowing that there was a massive crowd there and knowing the importance of the day, if they had taken the most remotely responsible action, matter of fact, they had done a fifth, a tenth, a 1,000th of what they did for Biden's State of the Union address in terms of public safety, people never would have gotten near the congressional building. It was completely irresponsible. And Pelosi was responsible for that. And she made the calls on that. So if you want to hold somebody accountable, this is a safety and public failure by her. Just like, why was there a school shooting in Texas? It really started with the basic failure of the school to provide a safe environment for the kids.
Just real quick.
And what do? We're attacking, we're attacking democracy because Pelosi didn't do her job.
Can you explain to me real quick what Pelosi's responsibility specifically was? What could she have possibly done?
So the head of the Senate and the House, they essentially are in charge of the Capitol building. And so the decisions made in terms of the level of security, whether they bring in the National Guard, what the rules of engagement, those are all decisions that they make, that they get to make. Because remember, this is a self-affecting body, right? The President of the United States can't order a lockdown on Congress. Only Congress can do that. So she was the one that made the calls. And if a group of people that essentially had no obstacle leading a crowd into this building, if there was the simple security measures of a fence and a couple of National Guard troops, they would have never gotten close to the building. None of this would have happened.
Is there any way she could have possibly known that there was turmoil ahead?
Actually, because there was plenty of it. I mean, there was massive amount. One, there was plenty of evidence that there was a huge crowd. And the other thing is when you have a massive angry crowd on a day you're holding one of the most sacred activities of U.S. democracy, and you have no extra security at the U.S. Congress, really, honestly.
Could Trump have ordered the National Guard to be there?
There was more security at the Women's March than there was at the Capitol on the day of January 6th.
Could President Trump have ordered the National Guard to be there instead of Pelosi?
Well, you have to remember the grounds of the Capitol are the responsibility of the Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the President of the United States can't take over send the National Guard to take over the Capitol building. That's an independent body. And then the mayor can't do this. Only, Pelosi had a vote, and Pelosi voted no National Guard.
Yeah.
And and she made a huge mistake.
Yeah. And the media has not ever been able to engage in the conversations that we're having right now because the politics get way too far ahead of any of the details. Right. And you can't have the conversation without it being politically charged, it seems.
Right. And if you look at the whole tenor of the January 6th investigation, it started with the premise of how do we prove an insurrection here? There was never an extensive conversation about public safety. There was never extensive conversation about what Pelosi did or what other people did on that day. It was all about how do we prove. So they jumped. It's like the episode of Law and Order where they just jumped to the trial and they skipped the whole part about actually investigating, what happened. And then from that determining, let's talk about who to hold responsible. And the reason for that is they started with a political agenda, which is they wanted to prove that President Trump led an insurrection against the American people. That's what they wanted to prove. This is why there was zero Republican participation in this committee, other than a few committed never-Trumpers, because Republicans realized this was a set-up game to begin with. I keep reminding people, and nobody wants to talk about this. Look at the 9/11 Commission. The 9/11 Commission didn't start with the premise of, well, we have to prove it's Bush's fault or Clinton's fault. It started with a completely nonpartisan premise of, we have to discover what happened. And they went through a painstaking deal of first documenting a timeline of everything that exactly happened as far as they could prove and know. And they spent months on that and explaining that to the American people before they even began to talk about, okay, what did we learn here and what are the remedies and what can we do better? Yeah. That was a model of a public investigation. What Pelosi is doing is a model of a political witch hunt.
That's so true. Jim Carafano, thank you for your time today. We are always grateful to have you on with us.
Thank you, my friend.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Leading expert in national security and foreign policy at the Heritage Foundation. We got people commenting here saying that, of course, he could offer or he could call in the National Guard. Christopher on YouTube says Trump 100% can order the National Guard. Scott on YouTube says, nope, he can't. He offered it to Chicago and is also turned down. Mayor Lori Lightfoot was like, over my dead body.
Yeah. Well, even in D.C., he requested it and Muriel Bowser turned it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. There it is. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show in just a minute. The YouTube live chat poll. We'd love to get your votes on this and to get your thoughts on it as well in the comments. You got to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're live. You can watch the show. We're broadcasting right now there. It's kind of fun. You can even watch it on the YouTube app on your smart TV if you want to pop it on while you're in the office or while you're at home doing the things you do whenever you're home. Here's the poll. It's in the live chat section. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Yes or no? Your comments as well welcomed. We'll include some of them at 2:45. We'll be back in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
With or without you. With or without.
Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
So cajonesinc.com is the website to go and look at your new home. The one you're going to build that's going to have the finishes that you want, that's going to have the shelving where you want, the countertops you want, the floors you want, the positioning of the rooms and the open space you want, and the privacy that you want. This is what you get when you go build a home with C.A. Jones. They're on the Illinois side of the river, and they are one of the largest home builders over there. They do such a fantastic job. I have walked through multiple, I think 4 different C.A. Jones homes, and they've all been very different walkout basements, 2-story homes, ranches, just wonderful, beautiful homes of all different shapes and sizes to accommodate different lifestyles, different family sizes. Reach out to C.A. Jones online today to start the process to find out why they are chosen by so many people who want to put their roots down in a beautiful house to make a home in Illinois. You can find all of their information online. Their website is cajonesinc.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
When you need your tech working its best, Staples has you covered.
My PC has 3 speeds: slow, slower, and slowest.
Staples has you covered during our free PC tune-up event, Saturday the 18th and Sunday the 19th. Bring your existing PC to any Staples store and we'll remove junk files, improve your startup and operating speeds, and optimize your device's performance with a 1-year subscription for PC tune-up software. A $30 value free. Your tech solution is at Staples. In-store only, Windows devices only. Appointments encouraged by phone or in-store.
Hey, St. Louis, it's Michael Mohan with Community Mortgage. The real estate market is as hot as the center of a freshly cooked toasted ravioli, making this a great time to use the equity in your home for a cash-out refinance, to upgrade your outdated kitchen, or consolidate your high-interest credit card debt, saving hundreds each month. If you're in the market to purchase a new home, don't trust your loan to an out-of-state call center or online lender. Call me. Call Michael Mohan at 314-336-6050. I want to save you money on your home purchase, refinance, or debt consolidation, and put my 20 years of local loan experience to work for you. When you call, you'll speak to me, and I will tailor a loan to fit your needs. So call 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Small businesses are the backbone of America. Yet when it comes to workers' comp insurance, you rarely get the savings you deserve. That's because insurance companies tend to lump you in with other businesses, and you can get overcharged. At Pi Insurance, we're on a mission to change that. With Pi, you get a quote specific to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. If you like savings, take 3 minutes to see how much you could save at trypi.com. Pi makes workers' comp insurance as easy as pie, with friendly representatives just a call away. No wonder customers rate our service excellent on Trustpilot. You work hard to build your business and keep your employees safe. You deserve more from your workers' comp provider. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote today at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Rolling down the road, don't know where guitar packed in a trunk. Somewhere around my mark of 112, Papa started humming the funk. I got a Jones in my bones before I know we were singing this melody. Stopped the car, pulled out the guitar, halfway to New Orleans, said, take me home.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So this is bizarre. I didn't know that this was happening. We just looked up at the screen, and Matthew McConaughey is behind the podium at the White House press briefing. And we're going to listen in here together and listen to what he has to say. Now, he is from Uvalde, Texas. He is born in Uvalde, Texas. He's obviously been a strong Texas supporter for a whole host of different reasons, and he has chosen to speak on this issue. I also think he's somebody who probably does shoot and own guns. So I'll be curious to see what the Biden administration sees as value through what Matthew McConaughey has to say here. So we're going to listen in. Brad, why don't you go ahead and fire it? We're listening to Matthew McConaughey, who is speaking from the White House podium. The Karine Jean-Pierre was up at the podium, stepped aside, and he took over.
My wife and I, my wife and I, Camilla, we spent most of last week on the ground with the families in Uvalde, Texas. We shared stories, tears, and memories. The common thread, independent of the anger and the confusion and the sadness, it was the same. How can these families continue to honor these deaths by keeping the dreams of these children and teachers alive? Again, how can the loss of these lives matter? So while we honor and acknowledge the victims, we need to recognize that this time it seems that something is different. There is a sense that perhaps there's a viable path forward. Responsible parties in this debate seem to at least be committed to sitting down and having a real conversation about a new and improved path forward. A path that can bring us closer together and make us safer as a country. A path that can actually get something done this time. Camille and I came here to share my stories from my hometown, Uvalde. Came here to take meetings with elected officials on both sides of the aisle. We came here to speak to them, to speak with them, and to urge them to speak with each other. To remind and inspire them that the American people will continue to drive forward the mission of keeping our children safe, because it's more than our right to do so. It's our responsibility to do so. I'm here today in the hopes of applying what energy, reason, and passion that I have into trying to turn this moment into a reality. Because as I said, this moment is different. We are in a window of opportunity right now that we have not been in before. A window where it seems like real change can happen. Uvalde, Texas is where I was born. It's where my mom taught kindergarten less than a mile from Robb Elementary. Uvalde is where I learned to master a Daisy BB gun. That took 2 years before I graduated to a .410 shotgun. Uvalde is where I was taught to revere the power and the capability of the tool that we call a gun. Uvalde is where I learned responsible gun ownership. Now, Uvalde called me on May 24th when I learned the news of this devastating tragedy. I had been out of cellular range, working in the studio all day when I emerged, and messages about a mass shooting in the town I was born in began flooding my inbox. In a bit of shock, I drove home, hugged my children a bit tighter and longer than the night before. And then the reality of what had happened that day in the town I was born in set in. So the next morning, Camilla, myself, and the kids, we loaded up the truck and we drove to Uvalde. When we arrived a few hours later, I got to tell you, even from the inside of our vehicle, you could feel the shock in the town. You could feel the pain, the denial, the disillusion, anger, blame, sadness, loss of lives, dreams halted. We saw ministries, we saw first responders, counselors, cooks, families trying to grieve without it being on the front page news. We met with the local funeral director and countless morticians who hadn't slept since the massacre the day before, because they've been working 24/7 trying to handle so many bodies at once, so many little innocent bodies who had their entire lives still yet to live. And that is there that we met two of the grieving parents, Ryan and Jessica Ramirez. Their 10-year-old daughter, Alethea. She was one of the 19 children that were killed the day before. Now, Alethea, her dream was to go to art school in Paris and one day share her art with the world. Ryan and Jessica were eager to share Alethea's art with us and said if we could share it, that somehow, maybe that would make Alethea smile in heaven. They told us that showing someone else Alethea's art would in some way keep her alive. Now, this particular drawing is a self-portrait, all right, of Alethea drawing with her friend in heaven looking down on her, drawing the very same picture. Her mother said of this drawing, she said, you know, we never really talked to her about heaven before, but somehow she knew. Alethea was 10 years old. Her father, Ryan, this man was steady. He was uncommonly together and calm. When a frazzled friend of his came up and said, how are you so calm? I'd be going crazy. Ryan told him, he said, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You'd be strong for your wife and kids, because if they see you go crazy, that will not help them. Just a week prior, Ryan got a full-time line job, stringing power lines from pole to pole. And every day since landing that well-paying full-time job, he reminded his daughter Alethea, he said, girl, Daddy gonna spoil you now. Told her every single night, he said, Daddy's gonna take you to SeaWorld one day. But he didn't get to spoil his daughter. Alethea, she did not get to go to SeaWorld. We also met Anna and Danila, the mom and the stepdad of 9-year-old Maite Rodriguez. And Maite wanted to be a marine biologist. She was already in contact with Corpus Christi University of A&M for her future college enrollment. 9 years old. Maite cared for the environment so strongly that when the city asked her mother if they could release some balloons into the sky in her memory, her mom said, oh no, Maite wouldn't want to litter. Maite wore green high-top Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. Camilla's got these shoes. Can you show these shoes, please? Wore these every day. Green Converse with a heart on the right toe. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting. How about that? Maite wrote a letter. Her mom said if Maite's letter could help someone accomplish her dream, that then her death would have an impact and it would mean her dying had a point and wasn't pointless, that it would make the loss of her life matter. The letter reads, Marine biologist, I want to pass school to get to my dream college. My dream college is in Corpus Christi by the ocean. I need to live next to the ocean because I want to be a marine biologist. Marine biologists study animals and the water. Most of the time I will be in a lab. Sometimes I will be on TV. Then there was Ellie Garcia, a 10-year-old, and her parents, Stephen and Jennifer. Ellie loved to dance and she loved church. She even knew how to drive tractors and was already working with her dad and her uncle mowing yards. Ellie was always giving of her gifts, her time, even half-eaten food on her plate. They said around the house, we called her the great regifter. Smiling through tears, her family told us how Ellie loved to embrace, said she was the biggest hugger in the family. Now, Ellie was born Catholic, but had been going to Baptist church with her uncle for the last couple of years. Her mom and dad were proud of her because they said she was learning to love God no matter where. The week prior to her passing, she'd been preparing to read a verse from the Bible for the next Wednesday night's church service. The verse was from Deuteronomy 6:5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. That's who Ellie was becoming. But she never got to read it. Service on that Wednesday night. Then there was a fairy tale love story of a teacher named Irma and her husband Joe. What a great family this was. This was an amazing family. Camilla and I, we sat with about 20 of their family members in their living room, along with their 4 kids. Kids were 23, 19, 15, and 13. They shared all these stories about how Irma and Joe served the community and would host all these parties, and how Irma and Joe were planning on getting a food truck together when they soon retired. They were humble, hard-working people. Irma was a teacher who her family said went above and beyond and just couldn't say no to any kind of teaching. Joe had been commuting to and from work 70 miles away in Del Rio for years. Together, they were the glue of the family. Both worked overtime to support their 4 kids. Irma even worked every summer when school was out. The money she had made 2 summers ago paid to paint the front of the house. The money she made last summer paid to paint the sides of the house. This summer's work was going to pay to paint the back of the house. Because Irma was one of the teachers who was gunned down in the classroom. Joe, her husband, literally died of heartache the very next day when he had a heart attack. They never got to paint the back of their house. They never got to retire. And they never got to get that food truck together. We also met a cosmetologist. She was well-versed in mortuary makeup. That's the task of making the victims appear as peaceful and natural as possible for their open casket viewings. These bodies were very different. They needed much more than makeup to be presentable. They needed extensive restoration. Why? Due to the exceptionally large exit wounds of an AR-15 rifle. Most of the body so mutilated that only DNA test or green Converse could identify him. Many children were left not only dead, but hollow. So yes, counselors are going to be needed in Uvalde for a long time. Counselors are needed in all these places where these mass shooters have been for a long time. I was told by many that it takes a good year before people even understand what to do next. And even then, when they become secure enough to take the first step forward, a lifetime is not going to heal those wounds. But again, you know what every one of these parents wanted, what they asked us for? What every parent separately expressed in their own way to Camilla and me? That they want their children's dreams to live on. That they want their children's dreams to continue to accomplish something after they are gone. They want to make their loss of life matter. Look, we heard from so many people, right? Families of the deceased, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, Texas Rangers, hunters, Border Patrol, and responsible gun owners who won't give up their Second Amendment right to bear arms. And you know what they all said? We want secure and safe schools, and we want gun laws that won't make it so easy for the bad guys to get these damn guns. So, we know it's on the table. We need to invest in mental health care. We need safer schools. We need to restrain sensationalized media coverage. We need to restore our family values. We need to restore our American values. And we need responsible gun ownership. Responsible gun ownership. We need background checks. We need to raise the minimum age to purchase an AR-15 rifle to 21. We need a waiting period for those rifles. We need red flag laws and consequences for those who abuse them. These are reasonable, practical, tactical regulations to our nation, states, communities, schools, and homes. Responsible gun owners are fed up with the Second Amendment being abused and hijacked by some deranged individuals. These regulations are not a step back. They're a step forward for a civil society and the Second Amendment. Look, is this cure-all? Hell no. But people are hurting. Families are, parents are. And look, as divided as our country is, this gun responsibility issue is one that we agree on more than we don't. It really is. Look, this should be a nonpartisan issue. This should not be a partisan issue. There is not a Democratic or Republican value in one single act of these shooters. It's not. But people in power have failed to act. So we're asking you. And I'm asking you, will you please ask yourselves, can both sides rise above? Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands? So we got a chance right now to reach for and to grasp a higher ground above our political affiliations. A chance to make a choice that does more than protect your party. A chance to make a choice that protects our country now and for the next generation. We got to take a sober, humble, and honest look in the mirror and rebrand ourselves based on what we truly value. What we truly value. We got to get some real courage and honor our immortal obligations instead of our party affiliations. Enough with the counterpunching. Enough of the invalidation of the other side. Let's come to the common table that represents the American people. Find a middle ground, the place where most of us Americans live anyway, especially on this issue. Because I promise you, America, you and me, we are not as divided as we were being told we are. No. How about we get inspired? Give ourselves just cause to revere our future again. Maybe set an example for our children. Give us reason to tell them, hey, listen and watch these men and women. These are great American leaders right here. Hope you grow up to be like them. And let's admit it. We can't truly be leaders if we're only living for re-election. Let's be knowledgeable and wise and act on what we truly believe. Again, we got to look in the mirror, lead with humility, and acknowledge the values that are inherent to, but also above politics. We got to make choices, make stands, embrace new ideas, and preserve the traditions that can create true progress for the next generation. With real leadership, let's start giving all of us with real leadership. Let's start giving all of us good reason to believe that the American dream is not an illusion. So where do we start? We start by making the right choices on the issue that is in front of us today. We start by making laws that save innocent lives and don't infringe on our Second Amendment rights. We start right now by voting to pass policies that can keep us from having as many Columbine, Sandy Hooks, Parklands, Las Vegas, Buffaloes, and Uvaldes from here on. We start by giving Alethea a chance to be spoiled by her dad. We start by giving Mayte a chance to become a marine biologist. Start by giving Ellie a chance to read her Bible verse at the Wednesday night service. Start by giving Irma and Joe a chance to finish painting their house. Maybe retire, get that food truck. We start by giving McKenna, Layla, Miranda, Nevaeh, Jose, Javier, Tess, Rogelio, Eliana, Annabelle, Jackie, Azuya, JC, Jayla, Ava, Amory, and Lexi. We start by giving all of them our promise that their dreams are not going to be forgotten. We start by making the loss of these lives matter. Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew McConaughey. Why are we airing Matthew McConaughey speaking on this issue? Well, because he was doing it from the podium at the White House press briefing. Listening to what he says there, I'm going to put it to you this way, because I know there's stuff in there that people are going to go, yeah, I think that was a great speech. I think that he made some really great points. There are some things that he said there that people who have a sensitive Second Amendment nerve, Constitution and stuff, are going to recoil at that. Brad was doing it here in the studio.
I absolutely was.
Yes. And I mean, I understand both sides of this issue. Did you say 5650?
5650.
Okay. So listening to what he was saying in real time, not on the specific substance of the points that he was trying to make here, but on the approach to this issue, I think that Matthew McConaughey coming on the scene and not demonizing Republicans and saying in one breath, talking about how he is a gun user and has been his whole life, and how he believes in the Second Amendment. He does have the right to interpret the Second Amendment in a particular way, and you certainly have the right to hear it and go, no. This is what actual debate and conversation looks like. He's supposed to go to be on Capitol Hill, I guess, and talk to lawmakers about this. I mean, if Matthew McConaughey is what it's going to take to get legislators to talk to one another, Okay, whatever. If Democrats and Republicans are going to come together and talk on these issues and come up with a solution, the way I always see these things going is Republicans getting their arms twisted so tightly that they give in. It doesn't ever turn into a compromise. It turns into a surrender from the right.
Yeah.
So, but the specifics aside, and his focus on the need to invest in better mental health services to American citizens, I do believe that juvenile records need to be part of a background check. I don't have a problem with background checks. Do you have a problem with background checks?
No, I don't have any problem with background checks.
There's a conversation that can be had here. And folks that, I know that the vast majority of people listening to the show right now are strong Second Amendment supporters. I myself am a strong Second Amendment supporter. I have invested in the Second Amendment quite a bit in my home with my husband. The conversation needs to be able to be had so that everybody can understand each other's points. And then so you can vote accordingly. That was Matthew McConaughey. We took him the whole thing. Would love your feedback on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and go vote in that YouTube poll. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Yes or no? We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon, and if you're looking to get the exterior of your home or business repainted, CertaPro's expert painters can help. They focus on the power of timeliness, the power of inspiration, the power of doing it right, the power of localness, the power of minimal disruption. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated and can help make your home or business look amazing. Get your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I've hired CertaPro for more than a decade because the work is amazing. For your home or business and the power of pro, CertaPro painters.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Orthodontic care is something that is, I think in my mind, it's thought about for kids, but orthodontic care for adults, grown-ups, if you may, it's very important to know that access is out there to make sure that if you've been longing for a straighter smile, if you've been longing to smile brightly with your mouth open, as opposed to always trying to make sure your lips are closed so that you don't, expose teeth that you're conscious about, you can go get this fixed, and you can do it in incredibly discreet ways that are actually pretty fast. But you got to go to Hensher Johnson Orthodontics. That's where we send our children to go get their teeth taken care of. I have grown-ups in my family who have used Hensher Johnson Orthodontics with really great success, and I think you will have it as well. I trust my kids in the hands of Dr. Jody and the Hensher Johnson Orthodontics team, and I think you can trust them to give you the same care that they've given to my family. 618-400-0900. You can find them online at HensherJohnsonOrtho.com.
There's a big red barn where you say free. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
Adam, man, your aunt parties are the best. I mean, you always find the best kitchens with all the crumbs. That is why you always have a million aunts at your parties.
Thanks, man. I love finding these homes to do this at.
Oh, man, who just pulled up?
Oh, no, it's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They seem to kill every one of my parties.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. We'd love to help you out, so please visit us online at allsolutionspestcontrol.com.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Star power in the gun debate on Lisa Brady, Fox News. Actor Matthew McConaughey is at the White House after spending much of last week in his hometown of Uvalde, Texas, grieving with the community after the mass shooting that killed 19 children and 2 teachers.
To make the loss of these lives matter.
McConaughey leading off today's White House briefing with detailed stories about some of the victims and hope for solutions.
At this time, it seems that something is different. There's a sense that perhaps there's a viable path forward. Responsible parties in this debate seem to at least be committed to sitting down and having a real conversation about a new and improved path forward.
He also met with President Biden. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he hopes for legislation to address mental health and school security, with Democrats pushing for more gun restrictions, including expanded background checks and a new age limit on semi-automatic weapons. For now, bipartisan talks continue. A potential breakthrough in the fight against cancer, as an experimental treatment wipes out the disease without surgery or chemo.
It is being hailed as a new drug that can conquer cancer, a complete remission, say the doctors here, something that the medical community has never seen before.
Fox's Eric Shawn at Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York, where the drug was given to 18 patients with early stage rectal cancer. Their tumors and cancer disappeared.
The drug has laboratory-produced molecules that substitute for our body's natural antibodies. The study published over the weekend in the New England Journal of Medicine says, in part, quote, the percentage of patients with clinical complete response was 100%. No patients had disease progression or recurrence.
GlaxoSmithKline says they're very encouraged by the data, look forward to working on expanding the clinical study. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Pretty nice afternoon on this Tuesday. Weather-wise, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Think a dry afternoon, though I can't rule out a spot thunder shower. Tough to find. 82 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, a spot shower, thunder shower. Late night, 65. Wednesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. A couple of scattered showers and thunder showers. Lots of dry time, though. Wednesday, 80. Thursday is sunny and dry, 80 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
Spare me the bull about constitutional rights. The gentleman, no, I will not yield, and I'm not going to yield for my entire 5 minutes, so don't ask again.
The Second Amendment, like all other rights, is not absolute.
We, as a whole of government approach, have been working on this since the recall, which was in February.
Do something is not a serious policy, but the actual policies that he listed are extremely troubling.
97.1 FM Talk.
Hair Salon for Men is a wonderful place that you need to introduce yourself to, especially if you haven't done it yet. And if you have gotten a hair salon haircut before, you need to set up an opportunity for you to go once again, especially Father's Day is right around the corner. And when you go to hair salon, you're going to get treated in a way that is second to none. It's kind of the old fashioned way of doing barbershop type of treatment for men. You are going to get a complimentary drink. You're going to be able to have, the treatment that goes along with the haircut. It's not just a trim. It's a whole experience. Hair Salon they have a whole host of different locations for you where you can make an appointment online and you can easily find a location that's near you on both sides of the river in order to do that. My husband and my son both go to Hair Salon to get their haircut, and they do a great job every single time. celebrate your husband, your dad, your son for Father's Day, and maybe consider even getting them a gift card so that they can go treat themselves and experience the hair salon experience. You can find them online at hairsaloon.com.
Donate your car to Goodwill and get 4 free tickets to Six Flags. Ride the greats like the Screaming Eagle or hang out at Hurricane Harbor. Donating a car to Goodwill is easy. Towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt. For more information or to donate online, visit mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Six Flags. Hurry while supplies last. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Do you have financial resolutions for 2022? Maybe you want to help protect your portfolio from inflation, or maybe you want to take advantage of the current tax brackets before they sunset. At Heisey Advisory Group, we know that financial goals like these require reflection, clear expectations, and a comprehensive plan. So whatever your financial goal is, let us take the uncertainty and emotion out of your financial planning. Make this the year that you accomplish your financial goals, because a goal without a deadline is simply a wish. Call us today at 314-328-6000 and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services but may not give tax or legal advice. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Joe Biden opened America's borders to illegal immigrants. Now deadly drugs are pouring into Illinois. Overdose deaths are surging, and we're experiencing the worst crime wave in decades. Where does fake conservative Mary Miller stand? Miller says it's our responsibility to take care of illegal aliens. Here's Mary Miller admitting it.
If there's an illegal alien or illegal immigrant that lives next door and they need something, it is our responsibility as individuals to help those people.
Fake conservative Mary Miller is coddling illegal immigrants and putting Illinois families at risk. Conservative Rodney Davis is fighting to secure our border and deport criminal illegal aliens. Here's Rodney Davis.
Let's finish President Trump's wall, ban sanctuary cities, and stop illegal immigrants from voting in our elections. We need to get tough on illegal immigration. I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
Paid for by Chaikin Analytics. Mark Chaikin is someone you're supposed to hate. He spent 50 years on Wall Street helping to create the entire stock rating system. He's met everyone from Jim Cramer to Martha Stewart. And today, he's sharing an urgent warning to tell anyone who will listen. A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition could determine the next group of millionaires, while leaving 99% of the public even worse off than before, says Chaikin. If you want to be on the right side of the huge new shift that he predicts is coming to the market, you absolutely must consider buying one particular type of investment now, before it's too late, he says. To give you the full story, he posted the biggest prediction of his 50-year career online at stockmarketwarning.com/radio, along with the name and ticker symbol of the #1 investment to buy right now. Go to stockmarketwarning.com/radio to learn more, free of charge. stockmarketwarning.com/radio.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Want to listen to 97.1 outside the listening area? There's an app for that. Download the Odyssey app, and one tap will turn the station on. The Odyssey app for 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want? from me. I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful that you've spent a little bit of your afternoon with us. We know it's a choice, and we appreciate any time that you choose to spend it with us. We just heard Matthew McConaughey speak for, what was that, like 15 minutes or so? Would you say?
Every bit of that.
So we were trying to figure out how we're going to make all the things work in that segment, and he kept talking. And I got to tell you this. As I know Hollywood elite talking to you from the podium, you know the story, except for the fact that I think that what Matthew McConaughey did is not really the standard issue Hollywood celebrity, talkie down to you type of a thing. Brad feels like maybe it was.
I think it absolutely was.
You think it was?
Yes.
Well, I think it's interesting to listen to. What I want to see is what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to hold my breath a little bit to see if this turns into we're gonna take all your guns away kind of a situation led by Matthew McConaughey, who we talked earlier in the show about who the Democrats might nominate. And I'm not even joking. Matthew McConaughey is on the table for who the Democrats would nominate for president.
He wasn't in that list, but
No, he wasn't in that list.
I think he wants to be on that table.
All of the people that it was Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie Sanders. Yawn, 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 yawn. These are people. Yeah. Hannah's in the studio, folks. These are all people who have tried this before and have not been wildly popular. And if the Democrats want to shore up Democratic voters who are going to go like, oh, forget about those last 4 years, that was nothing, and people get people excited again, it's going to have to be off the beaten path. My opinion, but we'll see how it is. Mm-hmm. As promised, every day this week in the 205 segment, we are reaching out and expanding and looking for someone to take over Wiggins America because he went on vacation with his family to Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And so we thought, what better thing to do when he's gone than give a segment to other people to do? So let's do Wiggins America.
Wiggins!
And today's host is producer Jake, who you know from being on this show from time to time. And he has many responsibilities here in the building.
Oh, yeah.
He's wearing a Y98 hat right now.
I sure am. Yeah, look at that. I can't take it off. I got headphones on. Yes, Y98 from 10 to 2, and then also KEZK from 2 to 7.
Fantastic.
And then also the Annie Frey Show right now.
Whenever beckoned.
Yeah.
We love it because you are in the know. You are cool. And I guess speak for just myself. I am not. So
well, don't put yourself down like that, Annie.
The people who I'm cool with are also not cool. So the people
I take offense to that.
We don't need to be cool. You're cool, Brad.
See, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a not cool person telling you that. So like,
it doesn't even count. Hannah's cool. We're corrupting Hannah here.
Can you do that sound again? What was that?
Not so much.
Yeah, no.
No. We're glad to have you here, Jake. So Wiggins America is yours. Take it away.
Oh, Wiggins America is mine. It's Jake's America. I tried to find some time today to take that intro and just put my name in there, but it wasn't happening.
You can always, if you figure something out later, we'll let you do it even when he's here.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing when I get home. Then I'm getting right to work on that intro. I can't wait. All right. So remember during COVID when we started tipping really well?
Yeah.
All our delivery people.
How's that going?
Oh, it's not going great. And that trend is now over. Creditcards.com does a poll every single year to see how often Americans tip in different situations. And the average person is now less likely to tip than they were prior to the pandemic. Only 73% of people said that they always tip at restaurants.
Time out. Is that because service sucks these days?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
I'm never a non-tipper.
The article I found didn't make any speculations like that.
But do you know? I mean, we've had this conversation, a recurring conversation on this show. But the experience that you get, specifically in we talk about fast food a lot, which is not a tipping environment,
right?
Yet,
Mm-hmm.
In some places it kind of is. They set the tip cup out, and I'm like, why? You're making 3 times the amount of money per hour that I did at my first job. What? But if you go to different industry places like fast food, or if you are sitting down at a restaurant, more often than I remember experiencing pre-COVID, it's not really that pleasant of an experience.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I've had lots of pleasant restaurant experiences.
Yeah.
Since COVID, all of my bad experiences with the food industry have been with fast food.
That's the same for me.
That's where we only eat around here.
It's gotten to the point now where if the fast food is fast, it's a pleasant surprise.
Right.
When before that
Or if
wasn't
it's
the
right.
case. Yeah.
When you open your bag.
Well, depending on where you go, that doesn't matter. Like you go to Taco Bell, they get something wrong. Oh, fine, same food, different shape.
Except for if you're feeding a family of 6 and you're missing like 3 or 4 things.
That's pretty gnarly.
I actually think that Taco Bell, I know Brad's experience with Taco Bell is he's a very, very distraught now.
We're on a break.
Yeah.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah,
you know?
I was gonna say it's if I get pushed away from a particular restaurant, then it's like, okay, maybe this is best for me. But the food is cold, or it's not the right kind of food, or the order didn't get right, or they like throw the food out the window at you right now when
After
they
you
get out of here.
waited 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
bizarre.
I wonder if that also has something to do with probably the massive increase in like online orders and app orders and the DoorDash stuff. Like,
and low staffing.
yeah, and stuff like that. Exactly.
Busier, less people.
All that combined, it's a gnarly
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And the people that the fast food workers that do show up and do a good job, I appreciate very much.
You said do.
Yeah. It's that kind of show today, huh?
This is Wiggins America
Yeah.
for sure. Do you ever think it's okay to not tip?
No.
No, my tip's always very big. Like I'll tip really well for good service, but even if it's bad service, I mean, they're making less than what the minimum wage is because they're supposed to get tips. So I will tip.
Always at
15.
least 20%.
I don't ever not tip. No matter how. I mean, I would. We'll go to our resident Karen here in just a minute.
Are you the resident Karen?
I am. Are you surprised?
Self-proclaimed.
Kind of a little bit.
Well,
I
it's
would've
because you
guessed
haven't
Ryan.
screwed up yet around Hannah, Jake.
Look
Well,
out.
I trained her, so
Right? It's true.
I don't know.
So
Would you have the guts to?
drop the Karen-tude.
Yeah.
Just depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Have you learned your keyboard shortcuts yet?
Oh, you were hard on me on that.
if
I still am. How do you paste with a keyboard?
Control V.
Who doesn't? Does this generation not know those?
No, she knew them. She just wasn't
I'm just
using
more
them.
of a mouse clicker, and he was trying to help me when he was training me, saying I could work a lot faster if I used my keyboard shortcuts.
And I was only hard on you about that because it's true.
Now that's an attitude that I can subscribe to.
Because here's the thing, if you're only clicking with a mouse, you are working with one hand. Whereas if you're using the keyboard shortcuts, you are working with two hands.
So for the folks at home, a little sidebar right now. It is a huge, huge thing to know these shortcuts. And I find people who don't, it blows my mind that people don't understand this, but Control C is copy, Control V is paste, Control X is cut, and Control Z is usually undo.
And Control Shift V is copy in the same format.
Yeah, paste in the same format.
Paste in the same format.
Yes. So if you didn't know that, now you do, and you will thank us for it. Will you speak to the manager? Jake?
No.
Under any circumstances, you will not speak to the manager.
They would have to be pretty extreme circumstances because I'm going to avoid confrontation if I don't think it's worth it.
Is that Jake in life?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to McDonald's, order a burger, and they give me a McChicken, I'm not going to
No.
worry about it.
I'm talking about like incredibly like rude. If you had a rude experience, or if there was something that maybe was a health violation that you noticed or something like that.
If my health is in jeopardy, the person is above average rude, I can deal with somebody being rude. I'll just take away some of their tip money. That will be my passive aggressive retort.
Yeah.
Still only going down to 18% because I'm a nice guy. But no, they would have to be either very rude to me or rude to whoever I'm with.
Yeah.
Like if I was with my girlfriend and they were rude to her, then probably. But just to me, I don't care.
And we already know Brad will talk to the manager because he asked the manager for corporate's number in the Taco Bell drive-thru.
They probably just gave you like another Taco Bell store's number.
They didn't take my order. Like they didn't take my order.
They said
I got to the drive-thru after waiting 20 minutes in line.
Uh-huh.
They said we're not taking any more orders tonight.
Well, then you got there too late. That's on you.
No.
What time was it?
Oh, we're gonna have a fight.
I think it was
No, not a fight. Not if we're on the same
I
page.
want to say it was about 11.
What time did it close?
It didn't. The drive-thru's open till 2.
Okay, well,
That's
these
a
days you
new
take that with a
thing.
grain of salt. If
Yeah.
it's open till 2, you get there before 10.
What? Jake.
I
There's
strongly
a, there,
disagree
there's
with
a,
this.
there are a couple.
Now-
There are a couple spots by my house. I will not say where, but that is the case with them.
Jake.
Yeah.
Yo.
This is Karen. Go ahead.
This is
She cleared her throat, people.
This
She
is
cleared
a
it.
recent thing that fast food just picks whenever they want to close
random.
and or open.
That's what I'm saying.
Just because
That's not
they don't want to
acceptable.
work.
It's not acceptable. But you
It's
roll with the
not.
punches, Brad.
Didn't you?
No, we
also
can't
go-
roll with the
I'm
punches.
sorry, Karen.
No rolling with the punches.
You
with
get
this.
what you incentivize, and I'm not going to incentivize that sort of behavior.
I agree with you. If it says it's open till 2, then damn it, it's open till 2.
Be open till 2.
However, the passion I'm feeling from you
That'd
is
be
is
Karen.
very intense. And I'm just wondering if fast food is worth the intensity.
She's well practiced.
That's why me and Taco Bell are on a break.
Did I
Yes.
tell you what Taco Bell did to Mr. Wonderful?
Mm-mm.
Even Mr. Wonderful was irate about this, and he's not a high rate
I had
guy.
7 stories.
Can you stay for another segment, or do you have other work to do?
No, I do need to go.
Okay.
I do need to
Oh.
go. But it's
I
fine.
can share
I
my
can put them back
story for
together.
Friday.
You
Or
save your story for the next
Okay.
segment. Give me another story before you go.
Another story. Okay, how tall is everybody here?
5'8".
5'6".
5'11".
Mhm.
Okay, we're all good. You are in danger.
No,
Brad.
no.
I'm always in
A
danger.
new study has looked
Low
at
ceiling.
a new study looked at medical records of 280,000 Americans, so it's huge, and found that tall people, which they defined as anybody over 5'9", are at a higher risk for over 100
Tall
different.
is over
health-
5'9".
According to this study, and
You're
That
almost
crap
there,
study.
Annie.
I know, it's so close. I was
So-
like 5'11" in basketball.
according to this study, Brad, you are at risk for over 100 different health
Mhm.
issues, including but not limited to blood clots, irregular heartbeat, nerve damage, lightheadedness, inflammation, ulcers, leg pain, bone infections, and a strong dislike for poor fast food service.
I was going to say, do you want to ask how many of those I actually have?
Yeah. Do you know that he's had 3 heart attacks?
I knew he had a heart attack. I didn't realize you were an overachiever.
He's
Overachiever. Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Wait, hang on.
He made it.
Hang on. What's doing a heart attack right?
Having it and then not dying.
Okay, yeah. So you have to do that more than once to
Yeah.
prove yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. But
Look
it's-
at you go.
When was the last one?
Last one was September of
2020?
2020. Yeah, September 2020.
Yeah.
That was more recent than I thought.
It's because you're 5'11".
It's because
It's
I'm
because you're
5'11".
5'11", obviously.
What
It
did
had
Ryan
nothing
Wiggins
to
say
do-
he was?
Had nothing to do with the
What
fact
did
that I
he
weighed
s-
330 pounds. It had
No.
everything
This
to
study
do
is
with
only talking
height.
about tall people.
Not weight.
I was tall
not-
when I laid on my side.
Oh my gosh.
Brad. I can't tell you that you can't. I can't stop you from saying things about yourself. Ryan said he was like 5'11". He's really like
And I
5'6".
think he said a half. I think he was like, I'm 5'10" and a
Yeah,
quarter. Or
He just
something.
kept going with numbers. Yeah, he's like 5'6" or something.
Just kept
He's
going with
not
numbers.
5'6"
I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
Ish. Something
Yeah.
like that.
ish.
He's
Ish. I don't
he's
know.
probably 5'9".
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Ish.
he's tall
No, he is not.
and he is in trouble.
Eh,
He's
well,
he is at risk
Now
of
that
blood
we can
clots,
agree on.
irregular heartbeat, nerve damage, lightheadedness, inflammation, and an addiction to candy.
fact. These are the facts, folks. Jake, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
And you did a great job, and
Well,
we
thank you.
filled the whole segment, and you left a lot of stuff on the field there. So it was our fault.
I
not
will
yours.
print out a new copy and I can come back sometime this week or next week. You just
Okay.
let me know when.
Okay, maybe Monday when he comes in here to do his regular segment, we'll make him
Would you-
sit and watch you do yours.
Okay, I'm definitely going to make an intro for myself then. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. If he even comes back, I'm sure he'll be
Just
back.
stand there and look at him like, why are you in my
Where did he
spot?
go again?
He's
Mount Rushmore?
South Dakota.
Oh, okay.
He planned a,
He'll be back.
He thought, you know what the family should do? What we really need to do is take a road trip. Gas is $5 a gallon. Let's go. And then off they went.
Mount
So-
Rushmore too. I heard it's really disappointing. Like it's a lot smaller.
Really?
That's what I
No.
heard.
Has anyone in here ever seen it?
I've
No.
never been
No.
there, but every article I see, it's like the top touristy destinations that are actually not worth going to. Mount Rushmore is always on there.
Oh, I would
Ooh.
love to
It's
see
like
Mount
just
Rushmore.
this little bit of the bigger mountain. Sorry.
Isn't a little mountain still big?
I'm talking about the
The
actual
faces.
yeah, the faces. They're a lot smaller than you'd expect. It's not like the entire face of this mountain. It's just a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna find some things.
I'm just telling you what I read on the internet, so take that as you will.
Naturally, that would be truth. So we appreciate you, Jake. Thank you so much. We're gonna take a quick break. Do we have Signs of the Apocalypse?
We do.
We do have Signs of the Apocalypse with Hannah when we come back. And the Andy Frey YouTube live chat poll. Go to the Andy Frey YouTube channel and vote. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Yes or no? Your vote on the YouTube live chat poll. And we will be back with Karen and Signs of the Apocalypse in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Andy Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. Decision 2022 is happening. Are you ready to decide? The primary candidates are here because they want to talk to you. Decision 2022. Coverage sponsored by Air Comfort Service and TR Hughes Homes.
Looking to make sure that your retirement is going to present to you the opportunities that you have saved for and sacrificed for? Well, Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and the family business at Retirement Advisory Group, they are the ones who you need in your corner. And it's a super simple thing to do. All you got to do is reach out to them from a phone number I'm going to give you here in just a second. Get your phone out ready to go and punch this number in so you can call them at your convenience and talk to them about what they can give you, a worry-free retirement. It does not, it's not too good to be true, even though it might sound like it. He has a plan to help include you and the rest of his clientele who have never lost a penny. When you call him at 314-993-9494, you're going to set up a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review and get a copy of his second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So you're going to be able to take this information home with you, and you're going to be able to understand why so many other 97.1 and Andy Frey Show listeners have chosen to go with Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group. All of the information is online for you to access. If you want to wait, to call 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
The NBA Finals are here. Unlock every angle with coverage from the BetQL network. Get ahead of the game with early morning betting trends, game recaps, pick predictions, and more from the Daily Tip. Unlock the best bets for each game with BetQL Daily and You Better You Bet. And get live reactions to the biggest finals moments with BetMGM tonight. Listen on the Odyssey app or watch live and on demand on Twitch.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair, here to tell you about our touchless automotive service. If you're experiencing the constant struggles of having the kids home from school or just want more of that family time where you can listen to them teach you about what they do every day, we provide touchless automotive service, return the vehicle to you clean and ready to go in the comfort of your own home. Check us out online at CompleteAB.com for more information. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the cars.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. I started my first business in a dingy basement of a factory in 1986. Instead of customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. I was a total type A business geek, crunching spreadsheets for my accounting. Today, my fifth successful business, Patriot Software, makes accounting simple for accountants and non-accountants alike, eliminating the need for many of us business geeks to crunch spreadsheets or wear formal business attire ever again. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
.com. Work it, make it, do it. Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. That don't kill me. Can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Much stronger. Man, I've been waiting all night, man. That's how long I've been on ya.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being with us today. The YouTube live chat poll, we're going to get to that in about 15 minutes. So you're going to want to stick around to hear what the results are of it. And you can still go vote in it if you hurry on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Find the live chat. It's pretty simple to find. Here's the poll question. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? And I have the end of the year in there specifically because it's going to most likely turn into the lame duck Congress is going to switch party hands in the new year after the midterm elections. Everybody predicts. So what will they be able to do in between now and the end of 2022? I don't know. You think they'll get it done? Yes or no? Go vote in the poll. But now let's do Signs of the Apocalypse.
Now, Signs of the Apocalypse on the Annie Frey Show.
With Hannah.
Yep.
You
Here
ready?
we go.
Okay, what do we got?
Chick-fil-A is testing automated delivery robots.
Ooh.
Chick-fil-A has announced that it will begin testing an automated delivery system with robots across the country. The program is in partnership with the tech company Refraction Al, which announced Tuesday its plans to work with the fast food chain in Austin, Texas. The company, founded in 2019, is looking to offer another option beyond DoorDash, Uber Eats, and other food delivery systems. And soon the service could be offered nationwide. The benefit of the delivery system is its contactless feature, which comes after a pandemic forced companies and delivery drivers to be creative. The food delivery machines are simple box shapes on wheels, allowing food to be transported in a locked compartment. When it reaches its destination, the person who ordered the food will enter a code they receive to unlock it and dig in. According to Refraction's website, we're aiming for a low delivery time, which would be 10 to 12 minutes.
Where do they travel?
That was my question. It's like, are these
on the
driving?
road?
Are they driving to their houses and dropping it off like DoorDash? Or?
Yeah.
No, 10 to 12 minutes isn't going to happen.
How's that possible?
It's not possible.
It might be fun to see a couple times, but yikes.
How do you think it would get there, though? Like, is it going to have like a blinker? And
It's going to have to have all of that stuff.
Must be a Tesla.
Totally autonomous.
It's Chick-fil-A, though. I don't put anything past
I'd
them.
much rather them use drones and drop it in.
I was going to say, is it should we totally expect in, I don't know, 30, 20, 10 years to have drones flying all over the place delivering things?
I think so.
That's
I don't think
crazy to think
I don't
about,
think I will
but
like it, but I think that's probably the next logical step.
Well, we grew up without internet, and the thought of internet in every home was a wild and crazy assertion, and now it's not in every home; it's in every hand. So it's bizarre to think future, futuristically and think about drones flying all over the place. But
have you guys seen in grocery stores those they're robots and they go past and I guess they check inventory?
they're checking inventory.
Tally.
Is that Schnucks?
I've not seen that yet, and I don't know if I'm looking
I
forward
have,
to it.
and I side-eye that thing the whole time.
Like, I'm watching you. I saw Terminator.
Yeah. I know how the story ends.
Oh, it
Yeah.
has a name, Tally?
Tally is the name of the one at Schnucks, at least.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it counts.
Oh,
The tally.
Because
okay.
it tallies, one might say.
All right, next story. Workers cooking burgers and tater tots at a Sonic fast food kitchen fled after discovering an intruder hiding behind the deep fryer.
Oh, it's not where I would hide.
Brunswick
Maybe he's
Police
hungry.
Lieutenant Matthew Wilson found employees of the Sonic drive-in huddled in the parking lot when he arrived to investigate last Saturday. On the phone, they had described the culprit as brown with diamonds on its back.
Uh-oh.
Wilson not only had removed the large non-venomous snake, but also found it a new home with a friend who has a large terrarium and a fondness for snakes. Wilson says the python likely slipped into the Sonic's kitchen on May 21st through an open back door, finding a cozy spot for its cold-blooded body behind the hot air fryer. Or not air fryer.
We were to experience a python in this studio,
I'd break through that 2-pane glass right
I mean,
there.
I did have a spider drop from the ceiling on me live on the air once, and that did not go well. But a python? Oh, man. Well, what would you do? What would you do? Would you scream like a girl?
No.
That's a sexist thing to say, Annie. Would you scream like me?
No.
Something like that. You wouldn't scream?
Mm-mm.
What would you do?
Probably be startled a little bit, but I mean, it's so cold in this studio. They're not going to be moving fast.
No, if you actually came across it, not like the likely.
Oh, like in real life?
Yeah. Yes.
Like out in somewhere. not-
Anywhere.
Okay. Well, I guess it depends on where it is. Like if it's in my house,
Oh my gosh, there are a lot of parameters to the story.
I'm hitting it with a shovel.
What if you don't have a shovel?
I'm hitting it with something shovel-like.
Would you step on it with your foot?
No, they're too big for that.
Yeah.
That will not be effective.
What if you didn't have anything shovelable?
It's like an 8-foot animal. It's not going away anytime quickly.
The thing about snakes for me is their hidden strength is terrifying. And they, like, it could be here and then shoot right at you in 2 seconds and there's no going back.
No. I am not. I don't like snakes, but I have an irrational fear of spiders. And I have to say this every time we talk about spiders. Don't send me spiders. If you send me spiders now, I will ban and block you from everything that you contact me with. And I'm not joking. I hate them. It makes me incredibly uncomfortable. I also need a pest control person to come to my house. So if there's a great pest control company that you recommend, please contact the Annie Frey Show without sending me pictures of
As
spiders.
long as they don't have pictures of spiders on their advertisements.
Don't want pictures of spiders. I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't want them.
All right. I have 2 more things. The first one doesn't have much context, but I thought it was funny. Utility officials in Minnesota said nearly 4,000 customers lost power for a time due to a squirrel that wandered into a substation. The Minnesota Valley Electric, some word, said 7 a.m. Sunday outage in the Prior Lake area was caused by a squirrel that came into contact with substation equipment. No more context.
I think that happens quite a bit. Squirrels are.
I don't understand.
They chew on the wires. They fry themselves
they
and they
chew-
knock the whole system down.
Yeah, they'll either chew on the wires or they'll bridge to like a positive and a negative and short everything out.
Squirrels.
My mom has a fear of squirrels.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She doesn't like them. And one was dead in our yard the other day. She
must have liked that one.
I'm not going to say what she made someone do to pick it up because
She
she'll be
had
mad at me.
it taken care of.
She had it taken care of by
She's like
someone
the
who
squirrel mob
shouldn't have
boss.
been taken care of.
Fair enough. You?
No. Worse. Her grandchild.
What are grandchildren for?
Uh-huh.
Be helpful like that.
Next thing. This is definitely a signs of the apocalypse. Cargo shorts are back in.
That's not a sign of the apocalypse.
It is.
Are you a cargo short wearer?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
you're guilty.
can't wear jorts.
Correct.
So what other shorts are left?
Someone who was
Shorts.
just in this studio was wearing jorts yesterday, and I pointed it out.
Jake?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
He said, "Yep."
He was wearing jorts?
Jorts.
Oh, those are jean shorts for the folks at home. If you're not familiar with the term jorts,
Everybody's looking down there like,
not entirely fashionable, but I mean, you can wear whatever you like. It is your body and your wardrobe. Cargo shorts, to me, need to have function. If they're not, I mean, you can wear them if you need them. You can wear them no matter what. But if you're just wearing them for fashion, it's not really a fashionable statement.
Yeah,
I agree. Are there cargo jorts?
There has to be. There has to be.
Would you wear them?
Probably not.
Probably not, he says. I bet Wiggins would wear them.
Oh, absolutely.
I was going to say, do you think Wiggins is more of a jort or
Cargo
wear?
shorts. Cargo shorts.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a jorts guy.
I hope not.
People looking at their shorts right now going, oh, guys, come on.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. When we come back, Hannah's going to have the updates to the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Yes or no? If you want to leave us a comment as to why you voted the way you did, please do in the YouTube live chat. And we'll have the results of that poll when we return. And Hannah's going to pull a few of your comments to read on the air. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show in a second.
What they all say, right? Awesome. The Christian and Christian.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. The Mark Reardon Show.
There's enough room for everybody in this town. You got the Cardinals Blues soccer team now, and there is room for one time a year for the NASCAR Cup Series to come to St. Louis.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
You know, I was just talking about like all the things that I had to replace in my house, my air conditioner and my furnace in the last couple of years. They decided it was time. And when I had Air Comfort Service come out to assess the situation, they gave us options. They told us how they could fix it, but the investment to fix it didn't seem like it was worth it compared to the price to replace. I want you to reach out to Air Comfort Service if you have an HVAC need in your house, in your residence, or in your place of business, somewhere you might volunteer at that might be looking for some help in this regard. Somebody who's going to come to your home that you can trust to give you the truth, to give you options. And if you do have to go the route of replacement, to talk to you about their great opportunities for 0% financing makes it a lot more affordable, and rebates. They have access to double carrier cool cash rebates that are going to help save you a lot of money. You have to reach out to Air Comfort Service and mention the Annie Frey Show when you do to get the process started. But I'm telling you what, I trust them in my home. I hope you'll trust them in yours as well. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. You can find them online right now at aircomfortservice.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-676-5919 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-676-5919. That's 800-676-5919. What do you have to lose? Call 800-676-5919. Again, 800-676-5919.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I'm a martial artist, a pilot, mountain biker, hiker. The thing that brings me down is my feet. When my wife finally talked me into going into the Good Feet store, the salesperson there immediately started investing himself in my problem. This is not something that you could solve online. There's got to be somebody there that can help you find that fit. You put in the arch supports and your day becomes better and the clouds go away and it's a good life. I wear them all the time. Good Feet has saved the day.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
Paid for by Chaikin Analytics. Mark Chaikin is someone you're supposed to hate. He spent 50 years on Wall Street helping to create the entire stock rating system. He's met everyone from Jim Cramer to Martha Stewart. And today, he's sharing an urgent warning to tell anyone who will listen. A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition could determine the next group of millionaires, while leaving 99% of the public even worse off than before, says Chaikin. If you want to be on the right side of the huge new shift that he predicts is coming to the market, you absolutely must consider buying one particular type of investment now, before it's too late, he says. To give you the full story, he posted the biggest prediction of his 50-year career online at stockmarketwarning.com/radio, along with the name and ticker symbol of the #1 investment to buy right now. Go to stockmarketwarning.com/radio to learn more, free of charge. stockmarketwarning.com/radio.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, this is Chad Clayman with the Clayman Group, where we buy property direct and as-is condition with a flexible closing date. My phone number is 314-946-9999, and I'm here with Calvin to tell you a little bit more about how we buy property.
If you're looking for a simple, smooth, easy real estate transaction, contact the Clayman Group today.
KLAMEN Group.com. 314-946-9999. 314-946-9999.
ClaymanGroup.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, wanna let loose. I was dreaming.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Not a follower. Fit the box, fit the mold, have a seat in the foyer. Take a number. I was lightning before the thunder.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It is Tuesday, and we are happy that you're here with us. I got to tell you, like this, I don't know if you folks are experiencing this at all. I know, Brad, you are a participant in home ownership. Hannah, you're working on it. Eventually, you'll get there.
One day.
Does everything always crap out at the same time?
I feel at least it happens in threes.
It is happening in threes, but multiple sets of threes.
This is like sixes and
our
nines.
Washing machine just went out. We have had to replace in our house. Our house is 20 years old, I think. So I wonder how much of this stuff is 20 years old. New and it was put in the house or whatever. Air conditioner, furnace, water heater, dishwasher, refrigerator, and now washing machine.
Oh, you got 2 more to go now.
Shoot. No, that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, well, then you're done then.
When was the span of all this?
18 months. Maybe. The deck on our house.
The deck.
Like the deck, we used to walk on the deck and it would move back and forth with your steps.
When it rains, it pours.
Yes. So the deck is almost done. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I don't even want to say it out loud.
But you don't have termites. That's a good thing.
No, we thought we had termites during the deck thing. It turned out it was ants and they were gone. But I do, like I said, I do need pest control. So if somebody out there has a great pest control, I got one recommendation already. But if you have a great pest control company or if you own one, please contact the Annie Frey Show Facebook page because I'm in the business or appliances. There is I know in Fairview Heights there's it's like a ding and dent place.
Gil Klein.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that's down by Guitar Center?
No. That's
what I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
Gil Klein is on Old 50, and they have new, and they also have Scratch and Dent. That place that you were talking about by Guitar Center, Terry and I went there when we were looking for dishwashers. No.
Yeah, we purchased our refrigerator from there, and I think it was Sears.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah,
so it's changed. But yeah, I don't mind Scratch and Dent stuff at all. I'm not fancy, especially if it's going to save me a boatload of money. So yeah, they were apparently somebody was laying some cable under the ground at our house today, and they hit a water line, and so the front yard is starting to flood. And then all of a sudden, we looked out into our front yard, and we had a backhoe in our front yard, on our property, not on the easement, on our yard, a backhoe. Mm-hmm. And we're like, what the heck is a backhoe doing in our yard? And we had trucks in our driveway and all over the place. And then all of a sudden, I get a message from my husband. He's like, look at the Ring doorbell. And there are fire trucks all over the place. Apparently, they thought they hit in finding the water leak, they went to maybe hit a gas line. Oh, they didn't. From what I understand, the gas line situation didn't happen. So they hit something, but I don't know. I'm in 3-minute spurts in between segments going, is the house going to blow up? What's going on? Get the dog out of there. But that part seems to be fine. So hopefully. I'm I just said to my husband, I was like, this all costs them money and not us, right? This is on them. I don't have to fix this, do I? Obviously not, but it's just so much at one time. All right, let's do the YouTube live chat poll. Will Democrats successfully pass legislation that increases gun control by the end of the year? Hannah, you've been monitoring this over the course of the day. What do you got?
All right. 70% of the people voted no, and 30% of the people voted yes, that Democrats will successfully pass legislation that will increase gun control by the end of the year.
70% said no. Brad, what's your thought on this? Do you expect them to get something?
I don't think so. I mean, this was before I saw Matthew McConaughey was on the job, but
is that snarky?
Yeah, a little bit. Not a big fan. All right. Things happen in threes. You said it. So, no, I don't think that they can. I think that they want to. I think that basically this is going to go the way that most of them do, that the emotions run high for couple weeks, and then rational thought and heads start taking over. And the Republicans, like you played in that clip earlier, are looking at a big victory. And I think that they would view gun control as something that would cut into their wins.
That's a good point. But at the same time, I also don't want to see nothing happen. Maybe the solution isn't gun control, but
yeah, there has to be something to address why this increase of school shootings is happening, because it wasn't a thing, and guns have been a thing in this country since the country's been a country.
I'm going to put the ball on the tee for you. But universal background checks, Brad, why don't you support universal background checks?
I do support universal background checks, but we already have them.
Right.
I don't understand when somebody says we need universal background checks. I'm like, I don't know what more you can check. I mean, you go in and the FBI has 72 hours to run a background check on you. It's a national background check.
I don't know why juvenile records would not be part of that background check.
That's an important thing. I mean, do we unseal juvenile records? Do we unseal back to what? How many years old on a juvenile, or just go all the way back?
If you've been in juvie for something, then I mean, why
is that sealed?
Why does that need to be protected?
I didn't know that. That's really surprising.
Yeah, because the Uvalde shooter had a pretty distinct juvenile record, not to mention the fact that upon further investigation, the most prominent thing that's out there is the photo. I've seen the blurred out photo, and I didn't want to even see that, but holding a bag of dead cats. He took a picture of himself.
Yeah.
Lots of very aggressive comments of harassing women or girls, probably I should say. And, getting in fights in schools all the time, picking fights in schools all the time. If you're going to behave this way, there is a consequence. I know that this is not the current climate in the world, but if you're going to have bad behavior, there is a consequence for that. And should that be something that somebody who is, if you're interviewing for a job at 26 and you've gone, you graduated high school and you've gone through college and you got good grades, should somebody be able to see that you got in trouble because you've gotten a lot of fights when you were a 15-year-old kid and, you had a troubled sophomore year of high school? Should that keep you from getting a job? No. But I'll tell you what, the media sure has zero problem busting on Brendan Donovan for a tweet he sent out when he was 14-year-old to be laid bare for the entire country to see. That we can put on blast, but actual behavioral, criminal behavior is not going to show up in some sort of background check for a weapon. I think that is something that should be included. Double standards, big time.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. Let's hold people responsible for their actions, And so if we're going to open up juvenile records, let's open juvenile records. If we want background checks, if we want to catch these people.
Specifically for the purpose, I'm talking about specifically for the purpose of gun purchases.
And let's be clear. The problem isn't 18-year-olds. It's not all 18-year-olds. The problem is these specific 18-year-olds that are, predisposed to do something
Very
like that.
true.
That's who we're trying to find out.
And in California, they're trying to make it so that if you have behavioral issues, you are not allowed by law to report it. Yeah. Hannah's got her hands up in the air.
Ooh, that's really bad.
Doug on YouTube says they will push, but it won't pass as it's their Hail Mary topic for the midterms. Charlie says, my question about gun control is, why is it when a cop shoots someone, it's the cop's fault? And if a thug shoots someone, it's the gun's fault? That's a really great question. Eddie says, I voted no, but I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon used an executive order. There's another question. That's not what the poll asked.
Yeah, that they asked about legislation.
Yes, that is a different thing. And, I'm curious. I'm curious about that as well. Thank you for being here today. Interesting hit there from Matthew McConaughey at the White House podium at the press briefing. Didn't see that coming. If you want to hear what he said, you can do that by getting on the Odyssey app and rewinding to about 1:30 is when we began to air that. And right before that, Jim Carafano's interview with us was a really good one. Stick around. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
I want to talk to you about the Mohawk Smart Strand carpeting that comes at Michael's Flooring Outlets, where you can get it and you can experience the silky softness, superior performance of their Smart Strand Mohawk silk carpeting, or they have flooring that's good for pet. It's their all pet that is going to be able to stand the test of time with the dirty paws or, hair or whatever else your pet might do from time to time in your home. You can trust Michael's Flooring Outlet to partner you with the best flooring for your circumstances. And they have these top brands there for you to peruse. Also with tile and vinyl and luxury plank vinyl flooring, you can trust the customer service staff there to know their product and to be able to understand your budget that you bring in there and put you together with something that is going to make you incredibly happy in your home when it comes to your flooring solutions. Reach out to Michael's Flooring Outlet online. You can visit them at igotfloored.com or visit any of their locations. Again, that's igotfloored.com.
I tend to second guess dinners with friends because they're often interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes